Shotgun, steps back, looking to throw. He's got Calder on the left side. Calder spins, makes the catch on the sideline at the 30, and he's brought down at the 25.
Rich Rebel football is on.
Carlson drops back, pressure comes, he's hit in the end zone, brought down, and it's a safety. Kenan Clark brought the heat up the middle.
After an 11th consecutive appearance in the semifinals, the Rebels return to the gridiron looking to take it back to the next level and return to the top.
Goes to the right, and Aaron Smith steps in, picks it off. He brings it down near the 20.
The title hunt rolls on as the Rebels run through the 2017 season with a reloaded roster and their sights set on a 7th football championship trophy.
Takes the snap, looks left, looks back right, throws down the right sideline. He's got Osler in the end zone. Caught, he bobbled it, but he pulls it in. Touchdown, Rebels.
Get ready, Rebel football fans, and join us for Rich High School football on Rebel Radio, KADQ FM 98.3, with live streaming video online at mylocalradio.com.
Finds Giles. He makes the catch, but he's immediately brought down. That was Porter Weston out there.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by T-Bar S Body Shop Technoglass of Evanston, Cash Honda Yamaha in Logan, Westar Printing in Evanston, the Wind River Hotel and Casino of Riverton, Wyoming, Edwards Furniture in Logan, Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet, and by mylocalradio.com.
Anderson with a nice throw over the outside shoulder where only Calder could get it.
And now, Rebel fans,
throws picked off by Jordan Cook.
Put the kids to bed, tie up the horses, and turn up the volume as we head to the gridiron to join the play-by-play voice of the Rebels, Ryan Steineckert.
Well, good evening, Rebel fans, and welcome to Rich Rebel Football on KADQ. Today, the Rebels take on the Altamont Longhorns. We're down here in the Uinta Basin. Lights are already on for a 6 p.m. kickoff, senior night at Altamont High School, and kickoff is scheduled, as I mentioned, for 6 p.m. In the meantime, we have our pregame show brought to you by Rolene Kennedy, Rich County's representative at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet. We'll hear from her and then set the scene for today's game of Rich Rebel football on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com. Rolene Kennedy of Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet in Evanston is your Rich County representative. The mother of 5 Rich High graduates and grandmother of 3 more graduates in the making, Rolene is here for you. She's a recipient of GM's highest salesman honor, the Mark of Excellence Award winner, meaning she provides you with the best customer service in the industry. The next time you're looking for a car or truck, think Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet in Evanston, your Rich County representative.
Go Rebels!
When you're buying and selling real estate, you want to work with an agent that knows the area and understands property values. You want to work with an agent that listens to what you're looking for and knows how to find it for you. And it's important to know all of your options. That's why it's smart to work with the best. Gary McKee and the agents at Bear Lake Realty in Garden City, Utah, helping folks buy and sell real estate for over 25 years. When you work with Bear Lake Realty, you're working with the best. Visit bearlakerealty.com today. Welcome back to the Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet pregame show. We've got an exciting gridiron battle for you tonight as the Rich Rebels close out the regular season at Altamont against the Longhorns. Second consecutive year the Rebels are at Altamont. Last year, Rich, not much trouble with the Longhorns, but Altamont quite a bit better this year, and Rich has been struggling the last few weeks. We'll tell you more about it right now on our scene set, brought to you by Lazy S Ranching, encouraging you to eat more beef and cheer on the Rich Rebels. Rebels at Altamont tonight. Now, Rich is coming off, they're on a 5-game losing streak. If you go back to the loss at Milford, 21-7, and then 26-0 against Parowan, 14-12 in a close loss at Kanab, at Duchesne 2 weeks ago, 27-7, and last Friday, 41-13, the loss against Layton Christian. The Rebels had 200 yards, a couple of touchdowns from Kenan Clark, but never got things going on the offensive side other than Clark. The rest of the team combined for, I think, 24 offensive yards, and not to say that Clark was the only one, because of course the offensive line is opening up those holes, and it's a team effort. The ultimate team game is football, but the Rebels just couldn't get much going offensively outside of that 200 rushing yards by Kenan Clark. Had runs of 69 and 80 yards. That 80-yarder was for a score. Defensively, the Rebels were fair through most of the first half, and then the floodgates broke wide open late in the second quarter. Dustin Moffo finished with 311 yards, 3 touchdowns on the ground, and Riley McCombs had a pretty nice day as well. 22 carries, 114 yards. So 2 different guys ran for more than 100 yards. And as I mentioned, Moffo 311 by my stats. And I think I've seen a few different numbers, but it was 300 plus for sure. Also, freshman Jace Holt threw for 125 yards on 8 of 13 passing, 2 touchdowns, no picks. So he had a nice day as well. And the Rebels, they were close early on. In fact, had the momentum going their way, trailing 12-7. Looked like they had Leighton Christian stopped before a pass interference call gave the Eagles a first down. They scored 2 plays later and never looked back. Scored again before the half. It was 24-7, and they went on to win 41-13. That was the first loss for the Rebels against Leighton Christian in quite a few years. In fact, if I remember right, it was 2011 the last time the Rebels lost at Leighton Christian. It's been a lot longer since the Rebels lost against Altamont. We'll tell you about that in just a moment. But first, Altamont comes in at 4-4. And Rich, as I mentioned, just 1-7. They're 0-2 in the region. Altamont also 0-2 in the region. Now, the Rebels, if we look back, it's been a historically bad year for Rich. There have not been a lot of years where they've won just 1, 2, or even 3 games, and that speaks more to the job that Coach Ashley Brown has done, and everybody in the community, parents, students, athletes, everybody. What a program it's been for the Rebels, that there are so few times where they've only won one. Actually, never have they won just 1 game as members or participating members of the Utah High School Activities Association. In 1986, just 2-6. This year in danger of going 1-8 if they can't win here today. Now, they would play one more game either way. They'll play again next week in the first round of the playoffs, and likely that'll be at Milford if Rich wins. It'll be at Parowan likely if Rich loses. Now, as I mentioned, Altamont 4-4, but they're 0-2 in the region. The one comparable game that Rich has had, of course, Rich beat Monticello. Altamont also beat Monticello 15-13. The Rebels beat the Buckaroos 21-6. Now, here's some other comparative scores. Altamont lost to Parowan 53-0. You'll remember Rich lost to Parowan 26-0. Altamont lost at Milford 41-6. Rebels lost at Milford 21-7. So those games have been much closer for Rich than they were for Altamont. But against Leighton Christian, Altamont lost 32-8. Against Duchesne, 20-0. So they had closer games, or at least held those 2 teams to fewer points. If we look overall against 1A North or against 1A opponents, the Rebels have allowed 29 points, and they're scoring 7 points per game against 1A opponents. Parowan, Milford, Leighton Christian, and Duchesne. Altamont, meanwhile, is allowing 37 and has scored just 4 points per game against those 4 teams. So Rich has fared a little bit better overall against those 4 1A teams, but I don't know how much you can look into that. What it comes down to is matchups on the field tonight here at Altamont. Again, as I mentioned, the Altamont beat Monticello. Their other 3 wins, Wayne, which is independent this year, hasn't won a game. West Wendover, I don't know. I don't think they've done anything. And then at Lyman, Wyoming, it looks like Altamont beat the Eagles 7-6 early this season. So Altamont, it's been a few years since they had a winning season, and it's been a few years since they won in the playoffs. Looks like, I did write that down. Last winning season for the Longhorns, 2010. Last playoff win was in 2012. And their last win over the Rich Rebels was in 2003. They beat them in the regular season and in the quarterfinals. Rich has owned Altamont the last 12 or 13 years. 15 straight wins for the Rebels. And Rich has outscored Altamont by an average score of 39-9 over the course of those 15 wins. But prior to that, it was a pretty even matchup between Rich and Altamont. Going back, again, looking at the Laketown Ledger, Rebels are 31-8 against Altamont coming into this matchup. We'll tell you a little bit more detail later on in our pregame show. The Laketown Ledger is coming up. Altamont last year, just 1-9. They went 1-3 in the region and lost to Kanab in the quarterfinals. Same story in 2015, although they won 4 games that year, but again lost to Kanab in the quarters. They've not made it past the quarters since the 2012 season. They won a playoff game. So it's been a few years since Altamont has had much success. But under new coach Trent Richens, they've been pretty good. They've been a lot better. Definitely seen some success and some improvement on the field. It's a beautiful evening here in Altamont, about 65 degrees, and should cool off a little bit, but going to be a nice evening for football, especially considering we're in mid-October. And we're at Altamont. Rebels taking on the Longhorns tonight to wrap up the regular season. Senior night for the Longhorns, and the playoffs start next week. That's what it looks like here at the field. Some fans starting to come out. The JV played, Altamont played a JV game against Duchesne on Monday, and the Longhorns won that one. Beat Duchesne for the first time in a number of years, Coach Richens told me. Oh, that's what it looks like here at the field. The scene set has been brought to you by Lazy S Ranching. Eat more beef and cheer on the Rebels. We're about 30 minutes away from today's opening kick, but first let's catch up with a former Rebel, actually a couple former Rebels on the Mound Valley Cattle Company's Where Are They Now? That's coming up after the break on the Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet pregame show of Rich Rebel football on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
When it comes to hard things in life, don't say, why me? Just say, try me. Remember, it's the tough things that make us the strongest. The cattle ranchers at Lazy S Ranching are proud supporters of the youth in our community. Sim, Joe Jean, Carol, and Millie Weston, along with Sim Jr. and Maggie, remind everyone to eat more beef and cheer on the Rich Rebels. That's right. Eat more beef and cheer on the Rich Rebels.
Business cards are a powerful and inexpensive way to promote the goods and services you offer. You can design your own cards or have the professionals at Westar Printing design your business cards. Now with same day and next day turnaround on all business card printing, you don't have to wait. Get your business cards today. Professional quality, inexpensive prices, and quick turnaround. Visit Westar Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston, across from the library. Westar Printing, 307-789-5202.
Welcome back to the Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet pregame show. Today, the Rebels wrap up the 2017 regular season at Altamont. We're only about 25 minutes away from our opening kickoff, and it's time now to catch up with Rebel alums, Thad and Melissa Willis, who graduated from Rich High School in 1987. This portion of the Rolene Kennedy pregame show is called Where Are They Now? It's brought to you by Mound Valley Cattle Company, Eddie and Todd Jensen out of Thatcher, Idaho. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with Melissa and Thad right after this on the broadcast of Rich Rebel Football on Rebel Radio and online at MyLocalRadio.com. Founded in 1997, the Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho serves Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming and is proud to sponsor the students and staff at Rich High School. The Mound Valley Cattle Company is established on the foundation of hard work, commitment, and perseverance, knowing that every individual on the team must give their best for the team to succeed. The same principles that students and athletes at Rich High School are learning today that will help them lead tomorrow. The Mound Valley Cattle Company, 208-339-0614.
Randolph is located near the geographic center of Rich County, Utah, on a high plateau with an average elevation of 6,300 feet. The first group of settlers, led by Randolph H. Stewart, camped on a knoll south of the present town site on March 14, 1870. Randolph is a town of extremes, from 90 degrees in the summer to minus 40 in the winter. The folks who live here are also extreme, extremely loyal, extremely friendly, and extremely supportive of our youth. Good luck to all the Rich Rebels this year from everyone at the town of Randolph.
Ryan Steineckert on the Mound Valley Cattle Company. Where are they now with, for the first time, a pair of 1987 graduates of Rich High School, Thad and Melissa Willis. Thanks for your time today, guys.
You bet. Glad to be here.
Sure.
Melissa's not quite as glad to be here, so we'll maybe direct more of the questions to you. Thad, tell me, where are you now?
Well, we actually live in Lake Town. After high school, we went to college, Utah State University, graduated, went to Montana for 14 years, then were able to move home.
Melissa, why do you put up with stuff like this that Thad drags you into?
Because he's my husband. I love him, I guess.
Tell me about your family a little bit.
We have 5 children, two of them have graduated. No, three of them have graduated from Rich High. Our oldest graduated in Montana. We have 3 married children and one on a mission and one that's a junior here at Rich High.
I'm familiar with Payson and Emma, who's the junior at Rich High now. Where's Payson on his mission?
He's in West Virginia. Actually, he's serving in Kentucky, West Virginia mission.
How's that going, Dad?
He's having a good time, been able to get his feet down, have a good trainer. So right now they've had some people they're teaching, and he's quite excited.
You guys both graduated from Rich High School. How did you meet? Were you high school sweethearts?
Actually, we were. We met on a football trip. I was a football player, and she was a cheerleader, and it just started from there.
Same story, Mom?
That's true.
Now, you guys graduated in 1987, so you were around right at the time of consolidation, right? Did you both go 2 years at South or Northridge and then come here?
We did. I went to Northridge, and Melissa went to Southridge, and then as juniors, we started a new school.
What was that like? How much, just tell me about the experience of consolidating and then going to a new school.
Actually, it was pretty exciting once it happened. The kids really had an easy adjustment. Some parents on both sides quite didn't accept it, but as you can see now, it's very good.
Agreed. Do you think it's been a good thing, Melissa?
It has been. We've gained a lot from having the schools consolidate.
What were you involved with? You mentioned cheerleader and football player. What else were you involved with, Melissa?
I did volleyball at Southridge and then drill team.
Thad?
Did a little bit of basketball, track. We didn't have golf yet, so I was unable to work on my golf skills, and then some academic decathlon.
You've worked up your golf skills a little since then, though. You still like to get out on the course.
We do. It's a good family sport, so we enjoy it.
Do you like going golfing, Melissa?
I love to go. I'm not a very good golfer, but I'm a good cart driver.
That sounds like me, minus the good cart driver, right, Thad?
Oh, no, we had a good time. We went to state basketball, had a good time.
Anything else you remember? What were specific things that you remember from Rich High School and being a Rebel?
Just getting to learn everyone from both sides of the hill. It was nice to, you knew people from Randolph and Woodruff. From our side, it was nice to really get a face to them, and some of my friends are still, so it was a good time for us.
Any memories you have from Rich High School, Melissa?
Good question. Yeah, it just like that said, it was a big thing for the two schools to join, but it really went well. The kids got along well, and it didn't take very long for everybody thought it was a really great thing. So
we're on the Mountain Valley Cattle Company. Where are they now with Thad and Melissa Willis, 1987 graduates of Rich High School? Thad, you guys moved away from Rich County. Tell me what took you away from around here, and then what brought you back?
Actually went with General Mills and managed a grain terminal for them in Montana. That's what took us there, and we really enjoyed it. We're pretty sure we're going to stay there, and then came home for a family reunion on both sides and just decided we want to be close to family.
Has it been, you've been happy coming back here? Has that been a good move for the family?
It has been a good move. It's been really good for our kids and for all of us to be closer to family, and that's always a good thing.
Have you seen many changes? I mean, you've been involved with the school, of course, from when you graduated, and then with kids going through Rich High School. Have there been a lot of changes since you were here?
I think the concurrent program for the kids able to get their college degrees has been a real nice addition. It gives them a head start in college and gets some prep for it.
How about you, Melissa? Any changes you've noticed or seen?
He stole mine, actually. I think the concurrent is probably the very best thing. These kids get a lot of extras that they have. I've not seen in any other schools here. And also the Bridgerland part of it is a really great addition, too.
That was my fault. I should have gone ladies first on that one. Now, Thad, I know you're a grandpa. Melissa, you're not old enough to be a grandma, but how many grandkids you guys have?
We have 4, so we're quite excited. It's a lot of fun.
How much does Grandpa spoil those ones?
Oh, a lot. Yeah, a lot. They get to drive tractors and whatever they want, he lets them do. So
It's a fun lifestyle. I remember visiting my grandpa in rural Idaho when I was a little kid, letting me drive tractors, and that was just great memories.
Yeah, so we don't say the G word. We just go by Pops.
Pops, all right, Pops. Anything else we should touch on, you guys, about the Willis family, Thad and Melissa?
No, we're sure excited that you do the radio programs for the athletics. It's a good thing for us to follow with.
Last question for you then, Thad and Melissa. The Rebels are taking on Altamont to wrap up the regular season. What's your prediction on the football game?
I think they'll come through. We got some seniors, been talking to them, and they're going to really make a final push to get to make that state playoffs position.
You want to second that, or do you have a different thought about Melissa?
Second that. I think they'll do great.
Thad and Melissa Willis on the Where Are They Now, brought to you by Mountain Valley Cattle Company. Thank you so much for your time, you guys. Congratulations on a great family and all you're doing. Best of luck in the future.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
Well, thanks so much to the Willises for joining us on Where Are They Now? Brought to you by Mountain Valley Cattle Company, Eddie and Todd Jensen out of Thatcher, Idaho. When we return on the Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet pregame show, we'll visit with the coaches of today's teams on the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital Coaches Show of Rich Rebel Football on KADQ FM 98.3 with live streaming video at mylocalradio.com.
The best family vacations create lifelong memories. The Wind River Hotel and Casino in Riverton, Wyoming has teamed up with the Riverton Golf and Country Club to bring you great golf getaway packages for the whole family. Come for a couple of days, golf, eat, relax, tour the Wind River Indian Reservation, and enjoy the Native American tribal dancers. Pet rooms are available so you can bring the whole family and stay. Call today the Wind River Hotel and Casino, where families play, stay, win. 866-657-1604.
One of the greatest things about living in Randolph, Utah is the friendly folks that live and operate business there. This is especially true at J-Bar Auto on Main Street in Randolph. Serving customers for years, J-Bar Auto provides high-quality service at a fair price, including vehicles large and small, tractors, and other types of equipment. J-Bar Auto also sells quality tires.
We appreciate all of our customers. Call us anytime. We're happy to help.
J-Bar Auto, 90 Main Street in Randolph, Utah. Stop in today.
You're listening to Rich Rebel Football on KADQ FM 98.3. This is Rebels coach Ashley Brown on the pregame coaches show, and we're just 20 minutes away from kickoff here on KADQ.
Welcome to the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital Coaches Show. Count on us to care. The Rebels are riding a 15-game winning streak against Altamont, but a 5-game losing streak this season. The loser of this one will likely play at Parowan next week. The winner will likely play at Milford. So what's on the line? Well, a win heading into next week's playoffs, maybe some momentum, maybe some confidence. No one sees the game the way the coaches do, so we'll take a few minutes to visit with new head coach of the Altamont Longhorns, Trent Richens, and then we'll talk to Rebel head coach Ashley Brown and get his thoughts on today's game. We'll be back after this from Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. Count on us to care on this broadcast of Rich Rebel Football and the Wildlife with live streaming video online at mylocalradio.com.
As the hospital closest to Bear Lake, professional medical care is always available at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. As a full-service hospital, Bear Lake Memorial offers an emergency room that's open 24/7. They treat patients of all ages. Other professional services include physicians' clinics, assisted living, home health services, counseling, dialysis, physical, occupational, and speech therapy, orthopedic care, and skilled nursing. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. Count on us to care.
When you need body work or a windshield replacement, it can be as simple as dropping your vehicle off and picking it up a couple of days later. T-Bar Body Shop and Technoglass of Evanston works directly with your insurance company to save you time and hassle. We know it isn't convenient to have a vehicle in the shop. That's why we work hard to repair and restore as quickly as possible to get you back on the road. Make it hassle-free. Let T-Bar fix your car. T-Bar Body Shop and Technoglass of Evanston. Stop in today for a free estimate. 515 County Road.
Ryan Steineckert with Trent Richens, head coach of the Altamont Longhorns. Coach, I appreciate your time today.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you coming.
Coach, tell me about your team. You being a first-year head coach, how are things going?
They're going pretty well. We've made some pretty good adjustments. Kids are playing tough, good defense, competing this year, which is really nice. So got a good group of coaches.
Who do you bring back from last year's squad with varsity experience?
We got Zach Hansen that plays a little bit of safety. Well, he plays safety, he plays corner, linebacker, he plays kind of all over. He plays receiver. He can play quarterback. He's a real tough, durable kid. Lane Benson, he's a senior. Real good experience last year. Parker Rust is our quarterback. Good experience. We have Russell Mitchell's real dominant on the defensive line. Him and Wyatt Jessen, both seniors. Just real good experience with all them guys. So,
what do you feel like your team's doing? I mean, you're at the end of the season now. What are you guys doing well?
We're playing defense. We're playing well. We're competing. Our offense is coming around. We've mainly focused on defense, trying to get to where we can compete with teams. I feel like we have a really strong defense, so just that's about it, I guess.
Tell me about the improvement your team's made from the beginning of the year to now. I mean, a pretty bad loss, I think it was Parowan and early in the season, but the last few weeks you've been a lot more competitive. Yeah,
Parowan, they have some interesting challenges to overcome. we had a lot of kids in different positions. We were playing a little bit different defense. When we played that game, we lost 2 linemen. One of them ended up having open heart surgery, and we lost the other one the first play of the game to torn ACL. So it just kind of made it hard to compete. We didn't really have a backup plan when we had lost them too. We obviously didn't expect to lose them too like that, like we did. And we've had some kids step up. We have a freshman playing center, and he's a beast. He's really came on, Mac Thacker. We've had a couple other kids really step up big, and I think that's why we've been more competitive. And our defense is just clicking. So,
what's your philosophy offensively? I notice you're about 70-30 run to pass percentage. You have found a lot of success on the ground.
Yeah, I obviously like to run the ball. I think your percentages are obviously better running the ball. Me being a first-year coach here and trying to implement my system, it's going to take a while for a lot of these kids to learn everything and make it easier. We've kind of had to try to focus on the important things to help us compete. So our offense isn't quite there yet, but it's getting better every week.
I know the history, at least for the last bunch of years, Rich has had gotten the better of Altamont. Is that something your guys are aware of? Do they care? Is it just another football game?
It's something I'm aware of. In 2001, my cousin played on this Altamont team, and we beat them up pretty bad in homecoming, and then the semifinals was exactly the opposite. I think the last time we beat Rich was 2003, and they've outscored us probably 4-1 in that time. They're a really, really good football team, really disciplined. So I'm aware of it, but I don't make them aware of it. That's something that we don't worry about. We just line them up and try to knock them down. So,
what are your keys for tonight's game to win on senior night?
We just got to continue to play good defense, and we need to be physical. Other teams have had success on the ground, and I feel like if we can get our run game going, that it's gonna be a tough night. Tough night for them, and if we don't, it's going to be a tough night for us. So I think it could be a really good defensive game. I look at the scores. We've played a lot of similar teams. In fact, most of the teams we've played have been the same teams, and a lot of the scores are pretty similar. So it'll be fun. I'm excited. We're looking forward to the challenge.
Anything else you want to touch on, Coach?
No, we just really appreciate you coming out here. Watched a lot of your broadcasts. Obviously, watched a lot of film on Rich. You do an amazing job, and we just appreciate having you here. So thank you.
I appreciate that, Coach. Trent Richens, head coach of the Altamont Longhorns. Good luck tonight.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks so much, Coach Richens. We're only about 15 minutes away from kickoff and today's action, the regular season finale. You're tuned into the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital Coaches Show. Coming up on the Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet pregame show, we'll visit with Rebel head coach Ashley Brown on Rich Rebel Football on Rebel Radio and online at mylocalradio.com.
It's Truck Month going on right now at Auto Farm Castle Rock in Evanston. Receive 0% financing for 72 months on select models or get 20% off select models. Receive up to $3,500 in bonus cash. Auto Farm is stuffed with vehicles at the guaranteed lowest prices. It's Truck Month going on now at Auto Farm. 0% for 72 or 20% off. Chevrolet, find new roads.
Auto Farm, Castle Rock Chevrolet. We're a different kind of dealer.
When you're buying and selling real estate, you want to work with an agent that knows the area and understands property values. You want to work with an agent that listens to what you're looking for and knows how to find it for you. And it's important to know all of your options. That's why it's smart to work with the best. Gary McKee and the agents at Bear Lake Realty in Garden City, Utah, helping folks buy and sell real estate for over 25 years. When you work with Bear Lake Realty, you're working with the best. Visit BearLakeRealty.com today. Welcome back to the Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet pregame show. We're in the middle of the Coaches Show brought to you by Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. Count on us to care. Now, Rich has dominated Altamont over the last 12 or 13 seasons. The last time Altamont beat Rich was in 2003. And over the course of those 15 straight wins for Rich, the Rebels have outscored Altamont 586 to 141. That's an average score of 39-9. But It's a new season, it's a new day, and these teams meet up tonight to wrap up the regular season. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with Rebel head coach Ashley Brown on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
As the hospital closest to Bear Lake, professional medical care is always available at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. As a full-service hospital, Bear Lake Memorial offers an emergency room that's open 24/7. They treat patients of all ages. Other professional services include physicians' clinics, assisted living, home health services, counseling, dialysis, physical, occupational, and speech therapy, orthopedic care, and skilled nursing. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. Count on us to care. We sell fun. Come see and feel the fun when you shop at Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley. You and your family will have fun year-round. In the water with personal watercraft, in nature driving your side-by-side or riding your four-wheeler, or in the mountains on your snow machine. It's always fun at Cache Honda Yamaha, no matter what the season is. Our showroom is full of inventory to choose from. Start having more fun today. Visit Cache Honda Yamaha between Logan and Smithfield on Highway 91. We sell fun.
Ryan Steineckert with Ashley Brown of the Rich Rebels. Coach, a tough loss Friday against Layton Christian in the homecoming. Did you feel like there was the homecoming hangover type thing, or how'd you feel the boys played?
You know, we were very similar to the way we played all year long. You know, there were times that we played really well, and then there were times that obviously we didn't play so well. So combination of that, plus that's kind of how we played all year, and it showed again on Friday.
Friday there was a turning point in the second quarter midway through, a pass interference that gave Layton Christian a first down, and it feels like you could look back at almost every game this season and pick one or two plays that have made the difference.
Yeah, you know, and that's happened to us, like you said, at Duchesne. It happened at Kanab, you know, and then it happened again on Friday with Layton Christian. You know, they got that penalty, and then they went down and scored right before half. And, you know, that was a big turning point in the game. And just like in the other games that we mentioned as well, you know, those are things that we need to be able to stop, and we haven't been able to stop it. We continually do those things. But, you know, like I said, we're just too inconsistent, and that's something that we need to change.
On the bright side, Kenan Clark ran for 200 yards and a couple of touchdowns. The running game, especially when he'd get out in the open field, he's got some good speed, made some good things happen.
Yeah, you know, Kenan on those runs did a great job of getting to the perimeter, and then, you know, outran the other team. And, you know, so he did have a good game running the football. And, you know, if you can get over 200 yards rushing, that's pretty good for a game. We just didn't do anything in our pass game, and so hopefully we can change that a little bit this week and be more balanced.
What was going on in the passing game? It felt like, at least thinking back, that there were just some drop passes. Was there other things happening?
No, that was the big thing. You know, we just didn't concentrate on the football and catch the ball. And so we had 3 or 4 drop passes that, you know, would have made a big difference. A couple of those would have been for first downs. And, you know, and those are just plays that you have to make. And we didn't make them, and Layton Christian did.
Altamont on Wednesday, so you got a short week to prepare. And in the past, at least since I've been here, Altamont's been that's a W on the schedule. You could say that from a year beforehand. But this year, they're looking tougher. They're looking better.
Yeah, you know, Altamont's, I think, won 4 games, so they're playing with much more confidence. Altamont has always played us tough, you know, when we have to go to their place. And, you know, so it's not going to be an easy game. You know, the winner will get 3rd place, the loser will get 4th. You know, and depending on what happens on the other side, that could be a big advantage for one of us. But, you know, we're going to have to make sure that we're ready, and we get 2 days to prepare. So we got to make sure we get it done.
You matched up better, it seemed like, with Milford. Is that the team you'd rather play? I mean, you're going to be at their place, Milford or Parowan, but would you rather take on the Tigers?
You know, they just do different things. Parowan's more of just pound you, just, you know, run at you and run over you, where Milford is more finesse. They like to throw the football more. So you have to prepare for different things, and, you know, and both of them do different things well. So either place that we have to go is not going to be easy. But when you start the playoffs, everybody starts back with the same record, and that's what our kids got to understand. What's happened so far doesn't mean anything once you hit the playoffs.
So is it a bigger deal just to get a win, get back on the winning track, and kind of gain some confidence as the playoffs start next week?
Yeah, you know, that's what we need. You know, if we go down to Altamont and beat Altamont and get going, you know, you never know what can happen. And, you know, it's not easy beating a team twice, which is what somebody's going to have to do with us, whether we go to Parowan or Milford. So, you know, if we can just go get a little confidence on Wednesday and then get rolling into the playoffs, you never know what can happen.
What do you need to do against Altamont?
I've said all year long that our blocking is not the best, and that's still a big area of concern. You know, we don't block consistently well. We'll block a play here or there really well, and then the next couple we don't block who we need to. And, you know, so it's blocking has got to be better, and we got to be more balanced. We got to be able to throw the football instead of just run all the time. And so those are the 2 things that if we can do those, you know, hopefully we can go to Altamont and get a win.
Have you seen enough of what Altamont does to know what you need to do defensively?
Yeah, they'll run eye backs and they run the football really well. Their 3 interior linemen are good. They're big. And then when they throw it, they like to roll to a side. So, we know what they're going to do, and so just hopefully we can get ready in 2 days so that we're prepared for Altamont on Wednesday.
They're thinking the same thing. Get ready in 2 days and be ready for Rich at home. Anything else we should touch on, Coach?
I think that's all.
Ashley Brown of the Rich Rebels, thanks so much. Good luck at Altamont.
Okay, thank you.
This has been the Coaches Show, brought to you by Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. Count on us to care. We're down to crunch time as this thing kicks off in less than 10 minutes. You're tuned in to the Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet pregame show of Rich Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3 with live streaming video online at mylocalradio.com. If you're looking for live local sports, local news, weather, live classifieds, and free photo downloads, search no more. MyLocalRadio.com has what you want. Watch your teams live or browse the tens of thousands of photographs of Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho high school events, from speech and drama competitions, rodeo, an array of different athletics, activities, community events, and so much more. Visit MyLocalRadio.com today and find what you're looking for.
Whether it's for your home, your ranch, your equipment, or your business, when you need propane, count on the best. T7 Propane in Woodruff. The professionals at T7 Propane place their focus on safety, quality product, and excellent prompt service, so you can rest easy and enjoy the affordability and efficiency of propane. Serving residential and business customers every day, T7 would love to serve you as well. For all your propane needs, call T7 Propane in Woodruff, 435-793-4208.
Rolene Kennedy of Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet in Evanston is your Rich County representative. The mother of 5 Rich High graduates and grandmother of 3 more graduates in the making, Rolene is here for you. She's a recipient of GM's highest salesman honor, the Mark of Excellence Award winner, meaning she provides you with the best customer service in the industry. The next time you're looking for a car or truck, think Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet in Evanston, your Rich County representative.
Go Rebels!
Been tuned into the pregame show brought to you by Rolene Kennedy, Rich County's representative for Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet. We've got the Pugstone Sporting Green scene, the Epic Recreation keys to the game, and the Laketown Ledger coming up after the break of Rich Rebel football. End of the regular season tonight. Rebels at Altamont on Rebel Radio and on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com.
It doesn't matter what season you visit Bear Lake. Make sure you always stop at Pugstone Sporting Goods. You'll find lots of great quality inventory at low prices, including guns and ammo. During the winter, you can rent cross-country skis, snowshoes, and buy your ski passes to Beaver Mountain. Pugstones is always the best place to get information about the area and purchase your hunting or fishing licenses. Everything you need with one stop at Pugstone Sporting Goods at the 4-way stop in Garden City.
Make this winter epic when you rent from Epic Recreation in Garden City, Utah. We rent cabins, snowmobiles, snowcat razors, snow tire bicycles, snowshoes, and more. Thank goodness winter is long, because at Bear Lake, we make it epic. Call us today and book your epic adventure at Bear Lake. Recreation and lodging packages available year-round. Call Epic Recreation today or book online at epicrecreation.net.
Back to Altamont and pregame coverage of the Rich Rebels season finale, regular season finale. Rich will have one more game next week. That will be either at Parowan or Milford. Those two teams face off tonight. Tonight's winner will face the loser between those two. Tonight's loser will face the winner. And, boy, just looking at the way the Rebels matched up with Parowan and Milford, I think you'd rather have Rich travel to Milford, not to Parowan, but we'll see how that goes. First, Rich has to focus on Altamont tonight here at Altamont High School. We're just a few minutes away from your opening kickoff of tonight's game, and that'll be brought to you by Bear Lake Physical Therapy, helping Rebels get back in the game since 1998. Time now for a quick scene set. The green scene is brought to you by Pugstone Sporting. the Pugstone Sporting Green Scene. Winter, summer, spring, or fall, Pugstones has it all. They are your Bear Lake All Sporting Goods shop. And current temperature here in Altamont. So apologies on that. My camera guy just arrived and distracted me for a second there. 65 degrees here in Altamont. It's been a nice day here. There's not much wind, just a light breeze here at Altamont. Again, the shadow's getting long. We've got sunset probably in about an hour, maybe a little bit more than that. But kickoff coming up here in a few minutes. It's senior night here at Altamont, and we've got a great night of football. The weather's great. Football, the field looks nice. Some good green grass out there. Senior night for Altamont High School. We'll run through those seniors here in just a couple of minutes, but it is a good night. Lots of crowd, a good crowd here for Altamont Rebels with the faithful fans across the way on the visitors' bleachers. And that's your Pugstone Sporting Green Scene. Winter, summer, spring, or fall, Pugstones has it all. They're your Bear Lake All Sporting Goods shop. Time for the Laketown Ledger, brought to you by the town of Laketown. Good luck, Rebels, from the mayor and town council of Laketown. Looking back at the history between Rich and Altamont, again, my records go back to 1985 for Rich, and the Rebels won the first 3 in the series. Altamont took 1. They went back and forth quite a bit, and as recently as 2003, the Longhorns swept the Rebels in the regular season and in the state playoffs, but since 2004 until last year, the Rebels are 15-0 against the Longhorns, a 15-game win streak. Rich 31-8 overall against Altamont, again going back to 1985. Over the course of those 15 wins in a row from 2004 till last year, Rebels have outscored. You may have heard Coach Trent Richens say it. He said, I think they may have outscored us 4-1 in that time period, and he's right on the button. 39-9, the Rebels have averaged a win over Altamont in those 15 straight wins. That's a total of 586-141. And again, Rebels have dominated Altamont recently, but the Longhorns are on a rebound year. Coach Richens has them doing some good things. They've won 4 games this year. They've beat Monticello, they beat Lyman, and they beat a couple other decent teams as well. And they've competed real well against the same teams that Rich has competed well but lost to: Parowan, Milford, Layton Christian, and Duchesne. In fact, if you look at just scores alone, Altamont held Layton Christian to fewer points and held Duchesne to fewer points than the Rebels did. This is a team that Coach Richens believes his defense is playing good. They're attacking well. They're playing at their best right now, and that's when you want to have your team playing at your best. Rich, again, going back against Altamont, 31-8. Will that 15-game win streak be extended to 16? We'll see tonight. That's your Laketown Ledger, brought to you by the town of Laketown. Good luck, Rebels, from Mayor Sim Weston, council members Dallas Clark, Chris Hodges, Gary Ogilvie, and Delora White. We're going to have your starting lineups here in just a moment. It looks like they're going to land a helicopter out on the field. Are they bringing in the game ball, Phil? Phil Oldroyd's running the clock for me, or running the clock for the school here for the game. He's a father of Josh Oldroyd, one of the seniors on this Altamont team. The other seniors: Parker Rust, Lane Benson, Zach Hansen, Kason Abbott, Wyatt Jessen, and Russell Mitchell. All guys that, if you've listened or paid attention much in the last few years to Altamont football and even wrestling and basketball, those are some good athletes, good kids. Time for your keys of the game, brought to you by Epic Recreation. Visit epicrecreation.net for rentals in Bear Lake. And your keys of the game are: 1, win in the trenches. Last year here at Altamont, Rich rushed out to a 25-0 lead at the half and cruised to a 31-0 win. Let me get that camera back on the field so you can check out this helicopter landing as I continue to read the keys of the game. Rebels tallied 217 yards of offense in the first half last year, and they did it with the offensive line opening holes for the rushing game and protecting the quarterback in the passing game. The Rebel defense also did its part, holding the Longhorns to just 119 yards of offense in the entire game. Now, the Rebels won at the line of scrimmage in that game, and if Rich wants to avoid its first loss to Altamont since 2003, they have to be balanced on offense and win in the trenches on offense and defense. Number 2, win the turnover battle. The last time these teams met, they combined for 7 turnovers. Rebels gave it away 3 times, but had 1 interception and forced 3 fumbles. Plus, Rich forced Altamont into 2 turnovers on downs. Now, the Rebels decidedly won the turnover battle a year ago, but you're aware the Rebels come into today's game with just 1 win. Rich has won the turnover battle once this season, and I give you one guess to figure out which game that was. Including turnovers on downs, the Rebels are -7 in turnover margin. Now, it's not the only key to victory, but if Rich wants to take its 15-game winning streak against Altamont up to 16 in a row, they have to win the turnover battle tonight at Altamont. Number 3, Epic Recreation key of the game is big plays. And pick a game, any game, and I'll tell you the 1 or 2 big plays that turned the game around. At Duchesne on 4th and 18, the Eagles score on a 36-yard touchdown pass to go up 14-0 just before the half. At Kanab, a pick 6 and 2 Cowboy conversions on 4th and long. Versus Monticello, Cameron Calder intercepts a pass at the Buckaroo 32, and Rich scores just a few plays later to put the game out of reach for a Rebel W. The point is, big plays have made the difference in every game this year, and unfortunately for Rich, the Rebels' opponents have the majority of those game-deciding plays. Now, if Rich wants to end his 5-game skid, the Rebels have to be the ones to make those game-changing, contest-winning big plays. Those are your keys of the game, brought to you by Epic Recreation. Visit epicrecreation.net for all your rentals in Bear Lake. That's not just in the summer on the lake, also in the winter off the lake, up in the mountains, snow machines, and much more. Visit epicrecreation.net. Find us on Facebook, or you can call 435-946-EPIC. That's 435-946-3742. That was your keys of the game, brought to you by Epic Recreation. We've got your starting lineups coming up here in just a moment. I want to thank our sponsors. Pregame show brought to you by Rolene Kennedy. Scene set, Lazy S Ranching. The Coaches Show by Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. The Where Are They Now? It was fun to talk with Thad and Melissa Willis. And that was brought to you by Mountain Valley Cattle Company. Green Scene by Pugstone Sporting, the Laketown Ledger by the Town of Laketown, Epic Recreation keys of the game, and your your Randolph Country Store starting lineups coming up in just a moment. Again, senior night here at Altamont. We went through senior night last week for the Rebels. Nick Jarman injured, and I see him over on the sideline wearing a hoodie. I know he wanted to get back for last week's game. That didn't happen, and it looks like he's not back for tonight's game either. We may see him back for the playoffs next week. That's a big question mark. Cameron Calder, Aaron Smith, Jordan Cook, Kenan Clark, Wyatt Weston, Daniel Gifford, Porter Weston, Trey Sidaway. A lot of seniors on this Rebel team. A lot of guys that will be missed next season. The Rebels get back on the football field. Our pregame show has been brought to you by Rolene Kennedy, Rich County's representative at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet. Let me touch on this again. The Rebels come in at just 1-7, 5-game losing streak. Altamont has won a couple of their last. Let me just find the sheet real quick, so I don't give you some bad information. They've lost 3 in a row at Milford, at Layton Christian, and versus Duchesne, but they've been fairly competitive in those games. They beat Monticello September 15th. That was their last win for the Longhorns. But if we look at the 4 common opponents in Parowan, Milford, Layton Christian, and Duchesne, Altamont and Rich have not fared real well against any 4 of those opponents. Now, Rich had a fairly close game against Milford. And Rich was close early on with Layton Christian. I was talking with Coach Richens, who said they were close early on with Duchesne and Layton Christian. But the combined score, as I mentioned, Rich and Altamont both 0-4 against Parowan, Milford, Layton Christian, and Duchesne. Altamont average score against those 4, 37-4 loss. Rebels average score against those 4, 29-7. I don't know how much we can look into that because it'll all be determined by matchups on the field tonight, how guys come out, how ready they are to play on a short week, getting ready for what for the Longhorns will be a long weekend. Rebels, of course, will just go right back to school tomorrow morning and then have Friday off. Rebels are lined up along the far sideline. That's the visitor sideline, looking at the sun for now. Longhorns coming out of the locker room, led by Kaysen Abbott, one of the seniors on this Longhorn team. We're just about to get underway, breaking it down a little bit more of what these teams do. Pretty similar as far as how much each team passes and runs the ball. Rich runs about 71% of the time, passes 29%. Altamont runs just a little less, 69%, passes 39% of the time. One big difference is that Rich is running about 9 plays on offense more per game than Altamont is. Now, if you run the ball or are able to run 9 plays more per game, you're going to have a little more opportunity, at least, to put points on the board. But if we break it down by points per game and an average this season, the Rebels have lost. Their average score, a loss of 23-10. The Longhorns, an average score, a loss of 21-13. And that's interesting. Longhorns at 4-4 this season, but they've lost some pretty big ones. As I mentioned, against Parowan, 53-0, and at Milford, 41-6. A similar score against Layton Christian. They lost 32-8. Rebels lost 41-13. And last week against Duchesne, a 20-0 loss for Altamont. Rebels lost at Duchesne 27-7. We've got the coin toss coming up here in just a moment. We've also got your starting lineups for you in just a moment as well. I think we're going to take a quick break for the national anthem, and we'll be right back with more of your pregame coverage.
This is Rich Rebel Sr. Trace It Away with live coverage of Rich High School football on Rebel Radio, KADQ FM 98.3, and online at mylocalradio.com.
Coverage of Rich High School sports is also being made possible by Delmas Equipment, repairing equipment for over 20 years, farming equipment assembly, and custom fabrication. The Thompson Ranch. Brian and Becky Thompson, promoting student learning and success in all areas. And Western Ag Credit, reliable credit for all things agriculture.
If you're looking for live local sports, local news, weather, live classifieds, and free photo downloads, search no more. MyLocalRadio.com has what you want. Watch your teams live or browse the tens of thousands of photographs of Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho high school events, from speech and drama competitions, rodeo, an array of different athletics, activities, community events, and so much more. Visit MyLocalRadio.com today and find what you're looking for.
Senior night at Altamont, the Rebels and the Longhorns. Kind of a waiting here a little bit. Was warned it would be a little bit of a late start because of the helicopter bringing the game ball in. And to do the pregame senior night, honoring the seniors. Mention those seniors one more time from the Longhorns. Josh Oldroyd, see him doing some kicking and other things. Parker Rust, Lane Benson, Zach Hansen, Kaysen Abbott, Wyatt Jessen, Russell Mitchell. Captains meet at midfield. So we get set to get this game underway. Logan Johnson running my camera tonight. Thank you, Logan. Our camera is brought to you by Bear Lake Realty. Visit bearlakerealty.com. Gary and Amber McKee in Garden City. If you're looking for beachfront, room with a view, maybe a secluded mountain retreat, whatever you're looking for in real estate in the Bear Lake area, visit bearlakerealty.com or stop in at Bear Lake Realty in Garden City. The captain's getting a few words from the Whitecap official. This crew from Utah Valley, the Whitecap band from Salt Lake area, the head official. Was looking to pick up their first win since a win over Monticello at home back on the 8th of September. And Rich has been close. They were close at Kanab. Lost just 14-12. A fairly close loss at Milford. Tigers scored late to make it a 2-touchdown win, 21-7. Of course, next week we'll start the state playoffs. The winner of this one will take on the loser between Parowan and Milford. Those teams play tomorrow. Rebels won the toss, deferred. So I believe the Longhorns will receive on the south, in the south end zone, attacking south to north. And so we'll give you the Altamont Longhorns starting offense. But first, the visitors, Rich Rebels on defense. Up front, seniors Jordan Cook, Wyatt Weston, Daniel Gifford, and I believe junior Ander Rex will be on the other end with Cook and Rex on the ends, Gifford and Weston in the middle. Also, we'll see Jaden Nilsson a lot there at defensive tackle. Linebackers are seniors Aaron Smith, Kenan Clark, Porter Weston, and junior Colton Meek. Cornerbacks, junior Kason Trineri, senior Cameron Calder, free safety, junior Jared Anderson. Those are your starting lineups for the Rich Rebels, brought to you by the Randolph Country Store. We may be small, but we've got it all. Starters for the home team, the Altamont Longhorns, will give you their offense, then they'll receive the football here in a few moments on the kickoff. Up front, a mixed bag of seniors, juniors, and freshmen. Senior Wyatt Jessen. Offensive linemen are from left to right. Senior Wyatt Jessen, junior Thomas Phillips, freshman Mac Thacker in the middle. 6 foot 220 freshman. That's a big boy for a ninth grader. Senior Russell Mitchell and junior Preston Jessen. The quarterback, senior Parker Rust, played wide receiver for this Longhorns team last year, but the senior is behind center this season for Altamont. Fullback, number 5, junior McKay Foy. Sophomore running back is number 20, Carson Sheets. Tight end is junior Cooper Russ, and the senior wide receivers, well, one senior, Lane Benson, one junior, Zachary Hansen. Starting lineups are brought to you by the Randolph Country Store. We may be small, but we've got it all. Hey, Logan, aim that camera just down just a touch. We've got, remember those graphics on the bottom? Down a little more. That looks great. Thank you. Just about ready to kick this one off. Our kickoff is brought to you by Bear Lake Physical Therapy, helping Rebels get back in the game since 1998. Rebels will wearing the whites, white tops, gray pants, blue shirt or blue helmets. Longhorns with the white helmets, red shirts, blacks or dark blue sleeves, dark blue pants, red shorts or red socks. Weston with a short, low kick. It takes a few bounces, and it's fielded at about the 20. Heading his way up forward, Carson Sheets nowhere. He's wrapped up. He almost fought through the arm tackle, but a few more Rebels came in and brought him down. I believe that's at the 30. No yard markers painted on the field, so bear with me as I get my bearings here. About a 10-yard return for Sheets. And it's 1st and 10 for the Longhorns at their own 30-yard line. Ball in the left hash as Altamont attacks right to left. If you're watching online at mylocalradio.com. Senior night here at Altamont, just north of Duchesne. I formation in the backfield. Foy the deep back. Man in motion. The snap and the give to Foy, right side. He's got a big hole on the right side, and he is finally ridden down after a first down of about 11 yards on the game. Foy picks up 11 and moves the chains. Last year, Foy was a running back as a sophomore last year. 13 carries, 28 yards against the Rebels. He's at almost half that after one carry. They'll spot that down at the 40, so a 10-yard gain for Foy. Again, I formation behind Parker Rush. One receiver wide left, one out wide right, tight end on the right side. Man in motion as Russ takes the snap, looks like the same play to Foy on the right side. He breaks through, and he might be gone to the 40, to the 30. No one will catch him. 10-5, touchdown. McKay Foy, no laundry on the field. He got a nice big hole up the middle, broke one tackle, and took it to the house. A 60-yard touchdown run for McKay Foy on the second play from scrimmage for the Longhorns. Foy starts out well, as do the Longhorns. 2 carries, 70 yards, 1 touchdown. In to kick the extra point, Josh Oldroyd, one of the seniors on the team. High snap, but it's pulled down, and the kick is off target to the right side, so the PAT fails. But Altamont strikes quickly, leading 6-0 on the Stacey's Repair scoreboard. 2 plays, 70-yard drive, just under, 40 seconds gone by, and Altamont's on top 6-0 on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com.
One of the greatest things about living in Randolph, Utah is the friendly folks that live and operate business there. This is especially true at J-Bar Auto on Main Street in Randolph. Serving customers for years, J-Bar Auto provides high-quality service at a fair price, including vehicles large and small, tractors, and other types of equipment. J-Bar Auto also sells quality tires.
We appreciate all of our customers. Call us anytime. We're happy to help.
J-Bar Auto, 90 Main Street in Randolph, Utah. Stop in today.
Our epic recreation keys of the game for the Rebels was big plays, and it needed to be the Rebels making those big plays. The Altamont Longhorns are the ones who come out and take that to heart right off the bat. McKay Foy on his second carry of the game, second play of scrimmage for the Longhorns in this game. Foy goes 60 yards for a touchdown. Extra point fails, but the Longhorns lead 6-0 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard with 11:20. That drive, including the kickoff time, took 40 seconds. And the Longhorns are on top. Oldroyd set to kick this one off, kicking right to left at mylocalradio.com. First quarter action brought to you by J-Bar Auto. Here's a short pooch kick. Bounces once, and it's picked up by the Rebels. And Trineri breaks a tackle, cuts upfield about the 30, out near the 40. He's finally brought down. Logan, aim that back down a little bit and zoom in a bit if you would, please. So a short return for the Rebels. They'll mark it right at the 40-yard line. Zoom in just a little more there, Logan. Thank you. We've got a window between me and Logan, so it's a little different communication. Looking good. Rebels attacking left to right if you're watching online at mylocalradio.com. Wishbone in the backfield. Anderson takes the snap, fakes the handoff, pulls it out, wanted to pitch, but he's wrapped up and brought down and loses a couple. He had Kenan Clark on the pitch, but the good play by the defensive end to wrap up Anderson and not allow him to make the pitch. A loss of 2 to the 38. So a second down and 12 with Altamont on top, 6-0 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. And the Longhorns, last time they beat the Rebels was 2003. Beat them in the regular season and in the playoffs. 28-6 regular season, 36-12 in the playoffs. Wishbone again behind Anderson, fakes a couple of handoffs, looks to throw. He's got Calder downfield, makes the catch at the 40 to the 35. He's tripped up, brought down from behind. Good speed from Parker Russ to catch him, but Calder with a long reception. Rebels tried that last week against Layton Christian, and the pass was just a little bit too long. This time it's right on target, down to the Longhorn 31-yard line. That's a 31-yard gain and moves the chains. A comprehensive family dental first down brought to you by Dr. Sean Grohl. Again, the wishbone in the backfield. Anderson takes the snap on 1st and 10 and gives up the middle. And I believe it was Smith with a short gain. Yeah, Aaron goes down to the 30-yard line, so 1 yard. Smith this season, 44 carries, 135 yards. Also a rushing touchdown, 6 receptions on the season. Second down and 9 for Rich. Again, that wishbone with, I think it's Trineri wide to the right. Tight end is Calder on the left side. Anderson turns and gives. He's brought down as he hands the ball to Cook, who gets a nice hole up the middle and picks up 3 or 4. Down near the 26, looks like close to the 27 is where they'll spot it. So a 3-yard gain for Cook. Brings up a 3rd and a long 5 for Rich, trailing 6-0 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. This first quarter action is brought to you by J-Bar Auto, high-quality service at a fair price in Randolph. Ball on the right hash for 3rd and 5. And the Rebels move, but no whistle, no flag. Throw to Huffner. It's through his hands, incomplete. It was a quick slant. Huffner was open. The pass was a bit high and went through his hands. So that brings up a 4th down and 6 for the Rebels. at the Altamont 27-yard line. Longhorns struck on a 60-yard run by McKay Foy, second play from scrimmage. It was a run just right side, and he took it all the way. Got a nice big hole, broke through the secondary, and was gone. I formation for the Rebels, going for it here on 4th and 6. Anderson takes the snap, rolls to his right. Now he throws back to his left. He's got Cook on the screen pass, first down and more. Down the sideline to the 20, down near the 15. And the Rebels will move the chains. Good pressure out there. Cook made a nice fake block and then just released out there. And Anderson got the throw up over the defensive line. And the Rebels take it down to the 17-yard line, 10-yard gain.
First and 10 on the 17-yard line.
Anderson, with that completion, already more completions tonight than he had last week against Layton Christian. Struggled in that one. Snap, gift up the middle to Clark, breaks a tackle, and then runs right over the defense. Good wrap-up tackle. And Clark picks up a few, almost 10. It may be close to a first down. We'll see where they spot it. That is a first down at the 6-yard line. 11 yards on the carry for Kenan Clark, who had 200 yards and 2 touchdowns last week against the Eagles. First and goal for Rich at the 6-yard line, a wishbone in the backfield. Anderson takes the snap, give up the middle to Clark. He's stood up and dropped down about the 4. And apologies on our stream. It was working real well until about game time. We'll see if that fixes it. Kate, let me know. A short gain for Clark. We'll call it 3 yards down to about the 3-yard line. Rebels knocking on the door, trailing 6-0 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. A second down and goal. Ball on the left hash. Anderson takes the snap, turns, gives to Clark up the middle, and he drives right through. He just busted through the defense. A Saby Trucking offensive line hole leads to a pro physical therapy touchdown. Brought to you by physical therapist Dr. Dallas Clark. The Rebels score a 3-yard touchdown run from Kenan Clark. And Rich has tied it up at 6 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. Good answer the Rebels needed from their offense. Trineri will hold. Porter Weston to kick the Rich County 4-H extra point attempt. Good snap. The place is down, but Weston shanks it off to the left side, and we're tied at 6 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. 7:57 left in this first quarter. Brought to you by J-Bar Auto. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Porter Weston with live coverage of the Rich High football on Rebel Radio, KADQ FM 98.3, and online at mylocalradio.com.
The best family vacations create lifelong memories. Schedule a family whitewater rafting trip today. Packages include your hotel room, transportation, whitewater rafting, and lunch in a native teepee. The Wind River Canyon is located on the Wind River Indian Reservation in Riverton, Wyoming, and is home to the Northern Arapaho and Eastern Shoshone tribes. Come and enjoy the waves, the breathtaking views of the oldest canyons in Wyoming. Call today the Wind River Hotel and Casino, where families play, stay, win. 866-657-1604.
9 plays, 60 yards. A big third down conversion for Rich on a screen pass to Jordan Cook. Rebels got it done through the air and on the ground on that drive. We're tied at 6 after the Rich County 4-H extra point attempt failed. Rich County 4-H empowering young people with the skills to lead for a lifetime. Here's the Bear Lake Physical Therapy kickoff. Weston puts it in about the same spot, but Sheets comes up and fields it at the 25. Hesitates to the 30, to the 35. Then he's hit hard as he tried to break through the defense. Found a little seam there, but the Rebels closed it in a hurry. Sheets takes it out to about the 34, I think. Oh, they'll spot it right at the 35. Sheets 15 yards on that return. Altamont takes over 1st and 10 at their own 35. Their first drive, they started at their own 30. McKay Foy carried it twice, the second time for 60 yards and a score. Rebels answered with a 9-play, 60-yard drive. We're tied at 6. Both point after touchdown attempts failed. One wide receiver out wide to the left is Lane Benson. Rust under center takes the snap, gives to Foy left side. Another big hole. He's got the first down and more. Across midfield to the 48 or so of the Rebels. It looks like they may spot it right at the 50. And that's a nice, boy, that offensive line is opening up big holes. The Rebels better find an answer quick against this Altamont offensive line. 15 yards out to the 50 for McKay Foy, who's got 3 carries for 85 yards in this game. Boy, he's on pace for 300 or 400 yards if he keeps this up. First and 10 for the Longhorns, attacking south to north. That's right to left at mylocalradio.com. I formation, ball on the left hash, pitch out right side. Foy looking to get around the corner. He cuts upfield, got a first down and more. Down the right sideline, still on his feet to the 20, to the 10, 5, and he'll score again. A 50-yard touchdown run, this time by McKay Foy. Touchdown runs of 60 and 50. And the recipe so far for Altamont is Foy, Foy, touchdown. Foy, Foy, touchdown. Rebel defense, no answer thus far. And McKay Foy with 4 carries, 135 yards, 2 touchdowns. You got to credit those big boys up front. Jessen, Phillips, Thacker, Mitchell, and Jessen. Boy, they're blocking the Rebels right out of this game. 12-6 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. It was another quick drive. 2 plays for the Longhorns offense, and now they'll go for 2. I formation behind Rust. Under center. 1 receiver wide right, 1 left. See if we get another dose of Foy. They do. Nope. Rust fakes the handoff, throws it out to the right side. The pass is caught. 2-point conversion is good. And the Longhorns lead 14-6 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. Again, 2 plays. This time, 65 yards from McKay Foy on the ground. Longhorns on top, 14-6 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Porter Weston with live coverage of the Rich High football on Rebel Radio, KADQ FM 98.3, and online at mylocalradio.com.
Coverage of Rich High School sports is also being made possible by Delmas Equipment. Repairing equipment for over 20 years, farming equipment assembly, and custom fabrication. The Thompson Ranch. Brian and Becky Thompson, promoting student learning and success in all areas. And Western Ag Credit, reliable credit for all things agriculture.
The Longhorns have run 4 offensive plays in this game, all handoffs. One was a pitch to McKay Foy. He's got 4 carries, 135 yards, 2 touchdowns. Here's the kickoff. Rebels' Reagan Huffner fields it back about the 20, runs to his left, spins out of a couple of tackles, tries to cut back around the outside, then upfield to the 30, and finally the whistle comes in to blow it dead. 14-6, Altamont leading with 7:06 left, first quarter. Brought to you by J-Bar Auto. High-quality service at a fair price. Rebels will take it 1st and 10 from their own 30. Their last possession, 9 plays, 60 yards. Ended with a touchdown. They failed on the extra point. Was there a fumble on that play? And Altamont took over. Reagan Huffner had it, and I was wondering why it took so long to get the whistle. He must not have been brought down. And so Altamont takes over with 7:06, and the Rebels are not starting this game the way they need to. A couple of Epic Recreation keys of the game were limit the big plays from Altamont. That hasn't happened. Win the turnover battle also hasn't happened. As the Longhorns take over at the Rebel 30. Give to Foy on the right side. He's upended and brought down pretty hard after a gain of about 3. And if you can start to limit Foy, he'd had 4 carries for 135 yards. That's 40-something yards per carry. This time, though, a hold. The Rebels had stopped the run and a hold against Altamont. We'll push that back to the 40-yard line for a 1st and 20. Boy, the way that Foy's been carrying the ball, 1st and 20 is no problem. I formation with Foy back there. Rust under center. One receiver wide left, one wide right. Long count for Rust. Takes the snap, rolls to his left. Pressure coming. Wyatt Weston gets in there, but Rust gets around the corner. He's chased down and wrapped up and brought down. Good pursuit by the Rebels. Getting out there is Ander Rex on the tackle, keeping containment, and Rust will lose a couple. Back near the 42, maybe the 43. A loss of 3. 14-6, Longhorns on top. Rebels have possessed it once. They went 9 plays, scored on 60 yards and scored a touchdown. Their last, Altamont's had it twice. They've run just a few offensive plays, and McKay Foy, 2 touchdowns. And then Rebels fumbled on the last kickoff return. So Altamont with the football. 2nd down and 23 after a hold penalty and a loss of 3 on the run by Rust. I formation, Foy the deep back. One receiver wide right, one out left. Ball on the left hash. Here's the snap. End around to the left side, or to the right side rather. A hold penalty or a block in the back as the man gets around the outside and picks up a pretty good chunk of yards. Lane Benson down around the 30-yard line, but Aaron Smith trying to get around a block from Cooper Rust. Couldn't get it. The flag flew in, and this should be an easy or pretty obvious hold penalty, and that is the call. Take them back 10 more yards, and if you count what was lost on the run, that's about a 25-yard penalty. Now, the spot of the foul was behind the line of scrimmage at about the 47, so that actually takes them back to their own 43. That's much more than a 10-yard penalty. It's about 13 yards. Brings up a 2nd down and a mile. They need the Rebel 20 to move the chains. That's 37 yards. And in motion from left to right. Give left side to Foy. This time the Rebels bottle him up. He breaks a couple of tackles. Nice move to make a little more than something out of nothing. And he picks up a few. Out to the, no hash marks and no numbers on the field. Makes it tough to see where the football's at. The 48-yard line, I believe, is where they'll spot it. Close to the 47. A little delay here from the officials. Oh, there was a flag on the play. Thank you. As they discuss what's going on, Altamont leads 14-6 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. Foy picked up 5 on that last play. It was a illegal procedure against the Longhorns, which is usually a dead ball foul. Rebels will choose to decline this one and bring up a 3rd down and 33. The way they've gone, Foy's averaging about 33 yards per carry, so watch out for the handoff. Rust fakes the handoff, rolls to his right, looking to throw, heaves it deep down the left sideline. He's got his man caught on the sideline. Did he keep his feet in? No. The official on that sideline, the line judge says nope, he was out, so that'll go incomplete. And bring up 4th and 33. So the Rebel defense with some big help of the yellow flags on the field forces Altamont into a 4th and long. That was a nice catch on the sideline by Zach Hansen, just couldn't quite come in inbounds. Hansen will step back and look to punt it away. Cook and Clark back deep to return. And again, just the way that Foy has run the football so far today, watch out for the snap to Foy and the fake punt. 4th and 33, that's a gutsy call, but no, they don't do it. Hansen boots it away, and that is a low boot. It just rolls around, and Wyatt Weston heads up play, dives on it at midfield. That was lucky. That could have been an easy turnover if that bounces off a Rebel, and it may very well have. I lost it and then saw Weston dive on it, so Rich takes over after the defense does its job. 4:46 left in this first quarter already. 14-6, Altamont on top. Rich will take over just on their own side of the 50-yard line. Looking to even this thing up. Rebels trail 14-6. Ball right in the middle of the field. Anderson in the shotgun, trips on the right side. Jared takes the snap, keeps it himself, and gets nowhere. Up the middle, he's brought down in a hurry. And I believe, was that John Johnson coming in for the tackle, I believe. He shot in there quick, and Anderson picks up maybe half a yard. He did get it across midfield to the Altamont 49-yard line, just outside the 49, so a second down, essentially 10 to go. Wishbone behind Anderson under center. Trineri wide to the right side. Calder, the tight end, on the left. Snap and give left side. Nope, Anderson pulls it, keeps it himself. Option left side, dives forward inside the 45 to the 42 or 43-yard line. A solid gain on the option. Carson Sheets on the tackle. They'll spot it at the 43. A 6-yard gain puts Anderson in the black at 3 carries for 5 yards. Had -1 before that carry. A 3rd down and 3 for Rich at the Altamont 43-yard line. Wishbone behind Anderson. Turn, give to Clark up the middle. He breaks one tackle, dives forward. He's got the first down and a little bit more. That'll move the chains. A comprehensive family dental first down brought to you by Dr. Sean Grohl. Spot this one at the 37, so 6 yards by Clark. Puts him at 4 carries for 23 yards and a score. Clark, the leading back for the Rebels, 602 rushing yards on the season coming in. Averages almost 6 yards per carry. That average went way up after last week's 14 carries, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns against Layton Christian. And with his touchdown today, he's got 5 touchdowns on the season. A 1st and 10 for the Rebels, attacking. Trailing 14-6 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. Anderson takes the snap, gives up the middle. Smith dives forward, 2 hands on the ball to keep possession. Gets down about the 36. A short gain for Smith. And the line of scrimmage, I said, was the 37. It was closer to the 38. So as Smith gets down to the 36, that's a 2-yard gain to bring up a 2nd and 8 for the Rebels with 2:43 left. Running clocks, first quarter. Rich down by 14-6 at Altamont. Wishbone behind Anderson, takes the snap, fakes the handoff up the middle, throws to the right side. He's got Clark, make the catch on the sideline. He's upended and tripped down inside the 30, about the 25, maybe close to the 20-yard line. Clark with a nice catch. Good throw by Anderson. The Rebels move the chains. And one of the keys, Epic Recreation keys of the game, was to be balanced on offense. They've certainly done that better today than they have a lot of this season so far, knock on wood. Football down at the 18-yard line. It's a nice 18-yard pass and catch. Rebels move the chains, a 1st down, and Anderson turns, looks to give it up, or to hand it off. He's hit in the back. The ball pops out and is picked up by the Longhorns. Defensive penetration by Wyatt Jessen. The Rebels just didn't even block him. He forces the fumble, and the Rebels give it away. 2nd turnover in as many possessions for Rich. They had the momentum going, but credit, boy, Wyatt Jessen. I can't believe how quickly he got into the backfield. The Rebels have got to do a better job blocking. That's a couple times he's been back there before Rich is even able to, before Anderson can take the snap and get away from the line. Ball was recovered at the 30 for the Longhorns, a 1st and 10. Attacking again, still right to left. First quarter action, Longhorns on top 14-6. 2:13 left in the first. Snap, give to Foy, right side. This time the Rebels bottle him up, but he fights his way forward out close to the 35. And a short gain for Foy. His first 4 carries, 135 yards, 2 touchdowns, had touchdown runs of 60 and 50. This one goes for 5. So he's at 6 carries for 145 yards. After the 35-yard line, a 2nd down and 5 for the Longhorns. Out on the left side, Lane Benson, the wideout. One man in tight on the right. Looks like almost like a wing T. Spot the slot back. Give to Foy, right side. He steps back and then sees the seam, dives forward. Porter Weston wraps him up and brings him down. And a short gain. Foy picks up 1. Out to the 36. Brings us to a 3rd down and 4. Longhorns on top, 14-6 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. Rebels with 2 turnovers. A couple of fumbles on their last 2 possessions. Their last drive, they were driving down to the Altamont 18-yard line before the fumble. I formation behind Rust. Under center. Long count. Now steps back a little bit and steps back under. 3rd and 4. Take the snap. Give left side. Foy bottled up. Can he get free? No, he can't. Ander Rex, great containment. Forced Foy back inside, slowed him down, and then Wyatt Weston came down the line, wrapped him up, and brought him down. Maybe half a yard gain. Nope, looks like they'll spot it right back at the 36. No gain. Brings up maybe half a yard. We will go back to that 4th down and a long 3 for the Longhorns. And Zach Hansen lined up to punt it away again. So Foy's first 4 carries went for 10, 60, 15, and 50. His last 4, 5, 5, 1, 0. Low snap, Hansen gets it and boots it away. Nice kick. Clark goes back. It bounces once and out of bounds at about the 25. That's where the Rebels will take over. So Rich offense fumbles. The defense forces a punt. Rich offense is driving, fumbles again. The defense again does its job, forces the 3 and out. And Rich takes over with 10.7 seconds left in this first quarter, brought to you by J-Bar Auto. Rebels will take over from their own, I think the 25 is where that looks like. Rebels attacking left to right. We're closing in on the final seconds of the first quarter. Altamont, touchdown runs from McKay Foy of 50 and 60 yards, leads 14-6. Rebels spread things out. 2 receivers, 3 outright to the right. Here's the snap. Give to Clark going around the left side. He gets around the edge, cuts upfield. Got a first. Nope, not quite a first down. He's hit hard. Bounced down at the first down marker. Got some good blocking downfield. And that was the play that Clark went 80 yards for the score last week against Layton Christian. This one not quite 80 yards, but should move the chains. A 10-yard gain for Kenan Clark and the Rebel offense, with a comprehensive Family Dental first down out to the 35-yard line. Clock will begin to run here, and that'll take us to the end of the first quarter with Altamont on top, 14-6 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. We'll take a quick break and be back after this on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com. Rebels down 14-6 at Altamont on the final game of the regular season.
One of the greatest things about living in Randolph, Utah is the friendly folks that live and operate business there. This is especially true at J-Bar Auto on Main Street in Randolph. Serving customers for years, J-Bar Auto provides high-quality service at a fair price, including vehicles large and small, tractors, and other types of equipment. J-Bar Auto also sells quality tires.
We appreciate all of our customers. Call us anytime. We're happy to help.
J-Bar Auto, 90 Main Street in Randolph, Utah. Stop in today.
Back at Altamont High School as we get set for the second quarter. Brought to you by T7 Propane in Woodruff for all your propane needs. Call 435-793-4208. Altamont with a couple of big touchdown runs by McKay Foy. Rebels had one drive. They put it together. The other 2 possessions have ended in fumbles for Rich. One was on a kickoff return. The other on a deep penetration in the backfield by the Longhorn defense. Rebels turn, give it to Clark again up the middle, and he just works his way forward. Out across the 40 to about the 41. They'll spot it right at the 41. So a 6-yard gain for Clark, who's at 6 carries for 39 yards. Second down and 4. Rebel offense now attacking right to left if you're watching online at mylocalradio.com. Wishbone behind Anderson, takes the snap, gives up left side, and Cook spins away from a tackle and dives forward across midfield. Nope, at the 46 for a first down. Another comprehensive Family Dental Dr. Sean Grohl first down out at the 46-yard line. Cook goes for 5 yards. He came into this game averaging 4 yards per carry, and he's right at that average through 2 carries, 8 yards. First and 10 for the Rebels. Ball in the left hash. 46-yard line, their own 46, trailing 14-6. Here's the snap, give right side, and Clark hesitates and then dives through the hole. Saby trucking offensive line hole nets Clark and the Rebels about 8 yards across midfield into Altamont territory at the 47. It'll be a 7-yard gain. Puts Clark at 7 carries for 46 yards on the day. Brings up a 2nd and 3 for Rich. Just underway in the second quarter. Brought to you by T7 Propane in Woodruff. Wishbone, Anderson turns, gives to Cook. He's wrapped up, dives forward. And again, there was big penetration in the backfield. Anderson just got that handoff away as Altamont brought a lot of pressure from the linebacker spots. Cook picks up about 2 to the 46. That was really more of a 1-yard gain. A 2nd down and a 2 yards short, 2 to go. They need just inside the 45 to move the chains. About 1.5 yards to go. Smith, Cook, and Clark in the backfield. Anderson turns and gives to Clark up the gut. 1st down, a little bit more as he dives forward. He was wrapped up. Good tackle, but Clark picks up the 1st down. Johnson, I believe, was the man on the tackle as Clark moves the chains to the 41-yard line. A 5-yard gain for Kennan. Rebels trailing 14-6 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. Just under 10 left to go, second quarter. Ball on the left hash. Huffner wide out to the right side. Wishbone in the backfield. Calder, the tight end, on the left. Anderson, snap. He's hit as he takes it, the snap, and fake the handoff up the middle. He just decides to cut his losses, tucks it away, and tries to dive forward. Picks up maybe 1 yard to the 40. And again, it's the penetration into the backfield for the Altamont defense that broke that play wide open. So a 1-yard gain for Anderson, who's at 4 carries, 6 yards in the game. 2nd down, maybe almost 2 yards, 2nd and 8. Trineri wide to the right side. 8 in the box for the Longhorn defense. Here's the snap. Again, Anderson hit as he hands it off. Clark sidesteps one, gets down around the 35 before he's upended and brought down. Gain of 5. Just outside the 35-yard line. Carson Sheets on the tackle. Another 5-yard gain for Clark. And Rich faces a 3rd and short. About 3 yards to go to move the chains. 8.5 left to go, second quarter. Again, Altamont leading 14-6. Furious scoring in the first couple possessions for each team. It's slowed down quite a bit since then as the Rebel defense has settled in. Anderson turns and gives to Clark again, and he just drives forward, lowers the shoulder, and booms his way ahead for the 1st down, I think, or at least real close to it. If they spot it where the official is in the middle of the field, that should move the chains. The line judge calls for a quick timeout. Maybe Altamont asking for a timeout. The Whitecap official says 1st down, move the chains down at the 31. So that was 4 yards for Clark and another comprehensive family dental 1st down. And a timeout on the field. We'll take a quick one as well on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com. Rebels trail 14-6.
Whether it's for your home, your ranch, your equipment, or your business, when you need propane, count on the best. T7 Propane in Woodruff. The professionals at T7 Propane place their focus on safety, quality product, and excellent prompt service, so you can rest easy and enjoy the affordability and efficiency of propane. Serving residential and business customers every day, T7 would love to serve you as well. For all your propane needs, call T7 Propane in Woodruff, 435-793-4208.
Altamont took their opening possession, 2 plays, 70 yards. McKay Foy with a 60-yard touchdown run. Rebels answered back, 9 plays, 60 yards, and a score, made it 6-6. And then 2 plays later, McKay Foy went 50 yards for the score. So far in this game, Foy with 146 yards, 8 carries, 2 touchdowns. And the Longhorns lead 14-6. Rebels have turned it over twice on their last 2 possessions, but they've got a nice drive going here if they can hold on to it. This is 9 plays so far on this drive. 1st and 10 for the Rebels. Ball on the left hash. Wishbone behind Anderson, takes the snap, Gives to Cook, left side, no hole, so he hesitates and then dives forward and somehow found a little seam and picked up a couple to the 28. So Cook able to make something out of nothing, picks up 3. Make it 2 yards. And it's 2nd and 8 for Rich. Again, trailing 14-6 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. The wishbone, one more time in the backfield. Huffner wide to the left side, one man on him. Snap, Anderson fakes the handoff, runs to his right, sandwiched as he dives forward. He got his momentum moving the right direction just before the hit and gets down near the 25.
46, 48, excuse me.
On the stop,
Cooper Rust with the stop.
I believe it was Cooper Rust. Anderson to the 25-yard line, picks up 3. And now it's 3rd down and a short 5. We'll call it 4 for the Rebels at the Altamont 25-yard line. Wishbone behind Anderson. Snap, give to Clark. Heavy dose of Kenan Clark. He breaks free. Nice big save. Striking offensive line hold the 15, 10-yard line. He's finally brought down. And he's just running through traffic and in traffic. A lot of Longhorns all around him, but he's able to keep his feet. Good quick move, run forward.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rebels.
And he's looking for some laundry on the field. I don't see any flags, so looks like they'll spot it at the 11. A 14-yard gain for Clark right up the gut. And a comprehensive family dental first down. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 first downs on this drive, and Rich is knocking on the door with a first. It looks like they've dropped the chain, so that it's at the 10-yard line, of 1st and goal. Anderson turns, gives to Clark again. This time he is stood up, trying to dance through the line. Gets back to the line of scrimmage and no further.
Defense, good stop right at the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
With that, no gain on the play. Clark is at 12 carries, 75 yards in the game, 1 touchdown. 2nd and 10. And this is where Rich has had some struggles this year. We saw it already once in this game. The Rebels were down to the Altamont 18-yard line when they fumbled it away. And they focus in and even up the score. Wishbone behind Anderson, takes the snap, pitches right side for Cook. A little bit of a hole, dances forward down to around the 7 before he's wrapped up and brought down. Maybe not even that far. Line judge on the Altamont sideline had moved up close to the 5-yard line, but backed it up. And Cook picks up 2 to the 8. 4 down territory here, so 2 downs to go on a 3rd and goal. Rebels on the right hash at the 8-yard line of Altamont, trailing 14-6 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. This has been a long, by far the longest drive of the game. Rebels got it with 10 seconds left in the first quarter to start this drive. 3rd down and 8 from the 8-yard line. Anderson fakes a couple handoffs, throws out to the left side looking for Calder. Did he make the catch through the pass interference? He did. Calder with the touchdown grab, and the Rebels are within 2. The defense out there, McCovey Jensen got his hands up, didn't look back. No flag flew, but it doesn't matter because Calder makes the catch, an 8-yard touchdown grab from Anderson to Calder. Cameron's first touchdown catch of the season. And for Anderson, his 2nd touchdown pass. Rebels will line up and go for 2 here. To try and even things up. They missed their first extra point. So that's a pro physical therapy touchdown brought to you by Dr. Dallas Clark. In the shotgun, Anderson just lobs it out to the left, and Clark goes up and makes the catch. The line judge at the pylon says he's out of bounds. It must have been pretty obvious. From here it looked close, but no. The 2-point conversion attempt fails, and the Rebels trail 14-12 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. 5:20 left to go in the second. We'll be back with the Bear Lake Physical Therapy kickoff after this on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
No matter what you need to have printed, Weststar Printing is the place you want to have it done. Calendars, letterhead, envelopes, brochures, books, posters, vinyl banners, business forms, announcements, wedding invitations, and business cards are just a few examples. You can also have your favorite family photos printed on canvas or placed into a personalized family photo calendar. You will want to do business with Westar Printing. Stop in today. Westar Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston.
Rebels 75 yards on 15 plays and an 8-yard touchdown pass from Anderson to Calder. But then Rich fails on the 2-point conversion attempt and trails 14-12 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. We're back in the second quarter, brought to you by T7 Propane in Woodruff. Touchdown was brought to you by Pro Physical Therapy, the Extra Point, Rich County 4-H, and here's your Bear Lake Physical Therapy kickoff. A short squib kick fielded by Sheets. He splits through a few tackles, and then he's spun down and brought down, plus a flag flies in back at around the 15-yard line. Not much of a return. Great coverage on the Rebel kick coverage team. And this may be a block in the back, unless somebody got a hold of Sheets' face mask, which I didn't see. And it's a personal foul or a hold. I believe they indicated a personal foul. Now, this is back near the 15 or 20-yard line, so half the distance. It'll still be a 1st and 10 for Altamont, but deep in their own territory after that personal foul. That's the third penalty against the Longhorns. Knock on wood, the Rebels have yet to commit a penalty in the ball game, or yet to be called for one, whistled for one. 1st and 10 for the Longhorns. Back about their own. Man, it's so tough to see the yard spot. About the 7. Thanks, Phil. Rust takes the snap, turns and gives to Foy on the right side. He breaks a couple of tackles, still on his feet, and drives through to the 20. Nice, strong run by McKay Foy. And he picks up a 1st down, gets Altamont outside of the deep within their own territory, a 13-yard gain to the 20. And for Foy, he's up to 159 rushing yards on 9 carries in this ball game. Under 5 minutes to go, second quarter. Rebels trail 14-12 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. Foy again the deep back in the I formation. Sheets in front of him as Foy gets the handoff right side. Rebels trip him up quickly this time. A short gain, about 2. Foy, the workhorse of this Altamont team. 75 carries prior to tonight's game. He's got 10 more, so 85 carries. He had 431 yards coming into the game. Picked up 2 there. So 431 and 161. That's 700 yards rushing this season for Foy. A 2nd down and 8 for the Longhorns with 4:10 left to go in the second quarter. Altamont on top, 14-12. Russ takes the snap, gives left side for Foy, and this time stuffed. The Rebels got some good defensive penetration. Anderson came in to help out on the stop, and a late flag flies in from the Whitecap official. It would be a 3rd and 8, but this penalty will change that. Might have been some talking in there in the middle of the field. Rebels start to back up as they hear the officials talking, and it's an unsportsmanlike conduct against Rich. There must have been some words exchanged, and I said it too soon. Rebels had not been penalized until that one, and that's a costly one, as it moves the chains. This was a similar moment happened last week. Rebels had stopped Leighton Christian on a 3rd and long, and then a pass interference penalty gave the Eagles a 1st down, just as this gives them a 1st down and moves the chains. Rust fakes the handoff, throws out to the left side. He's got his man caught. Quick wrap up and a tackle. Lane Benson on the reception picks up about 9. Out to the 46-yard line. That'll be a yard short of the 1st down. That's Parker Rust's first completion of the day, just his 2nd attempt. Second down, 1 to go. The 46-yard line. Rust rolls out to his right, looking to throw. He's got a man deep, but he can't get it to him. Just lobs it out of bounds as he's wrapped up from behind And I think it was Jaden Nelson who brought him down. And he was outside the pocket but did not throw it beyond the line of scrimmage. I believe this should be an intentional grounding. That is the call. So that's a loss of the yardage plus the loss of down. So instead of a second or third and short, they walk it off from about the 39 or the 34 back to the, is that the 24-yard line? 29-yard line. It's about a 17-yard penalty when all is said and done, and brings up about a 15-yard penalty, a third and about 16 to go for the Longhorn offense. 3:03. Rebels would love to get a stop here and then try to make something happen on offense. A late handoff on a little bit of an end around is what it looks like, and Zach Hansen gets the ball but doesn't go anywhere. Rebels shut it down in the middle of the field, and now Rich will take a timeout, I believe, and stop the clock. That is the call. Rebels take a timeout. We'll keep it right here as Altamont faces a 4th and long. Zach Hansen picked up 1 out to the 30. We'll take this opportunity since we're caught up on playing ads. We'll give you the Bear Lake Realty fan cam. Logan, let's see those fans over across the way, the Rebel fans on the away bleachers. Rebel faithful over there. The Bear Lake Realty fan cam is brought to you by Bear Lake Realty. If you're looking for a beachfront or room with a view, a secluded mountain retreat, maybe a recreation headquarters, any number of timeshare options, visit bearlakerealty.com or stop in Garden City. Talk with your friends Gary and Amber McKee at Bear Lake Realty. You can also call 435-946-8888. Sponsors of our camera at all Rich Rebel football games this season, bearlakerealty.com. 2:52 left to go in this second quarter. Brought to you by T7 Propane in Woodruff. Rebels trail 14-12. But their defense has been solid the last few possessions for Altamont. Have gone 3 and out, and this would be a 6 and out. I'd expect them to punt here on a 4th and 15. Hansen gets away a nice high boot, lots of hang time. Cook makes the fair catch. Probably a smart decision since the Rebels have turned it over twice at about the 32-yard line. So Rich will have 2 minutes and 45 seconds to try and make something happen here on offense. Rich has a couple of timeouts. They just used their first to stop the clock. And this is the 32-yard line is where they'll start. 1st and 10. Now their last drive took about almost 7 minutes, so they'll have to be a little bit quicker on this one. Give to Kenan Clark, who'd come around in the end, and he's upended and brought down, no gain. May have lost a yard back to the 31. Clark with 14 carries, 74 yards in the game, and a touchdown. Rebels are facing a 2nd and 11 as time runs down to 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on a running clock, second quarter. Again, the Rebels trailing 14-12. Shotgun for Anderson. He's got a man on each side, takes the snap, heaves it deep down the right sideline, looking for Trenary on the sideline. He makes the catch, but was he in bounds? Yes, he was. Great catch by Trenary on the sideline. Anderson and Kaysen Goodbuddy's off the field, and they use that chemistry to their advantage on the field tonight. A long gain from the 31 all the way to the 45-yard line. That's a 24-yard gain for the Rebel offense. Kaysen Trenary with his 4th catch of the season. Anderson now 5 of 6 for 91 yards in the game and a touchdown. Ball on the right hash. That stopped the clock since Trenary got out of bounds at 2:06. I formation behind Anderson. Takes the snap. Quick throw out to the right side. Clark's got it down the sideline. Dives forward. A short gain. And it looked like he came down inbounds. That line judge said, keep running that clock. So a short gain for Rich on that quick pass out to the right side. Oh, and there's a flag down. This one will be against the Rebels. They're backing up as a hold is the penalty. That'll push them back to their own 45-yard line. Make it their own 44. It took place a yard behind the line of scrimmage. So that makes things a little tougher with 1:47 left to go. Second quarter. And Altamont leading 14-12. Rebels will get the ball to start the second half. And the toughest thing, the biggest obstacle their offense has faced so far is turnovers. 2 of their 4 possessions in the game have ended in fumbles. This is the Rebels' 5th possession. They've scored twice. And they're saying back on the clock 2-0-0 rather than down to 1:47. So the Rebels will have an extra 13 seconds to work with.
Timekeeper on the field asking for a little bit more time on the clock. 2 minutes left here in the
Milford
first half.
plays host to Parowan tomorrow night. The winner of that game will get the loser of this game at their place. A 1st and 21 for Rich. Anderson in the shotgun, steps back, looking to throw. Heaves it down the left sideline. He's got Calder. It's in and out of his hands. He just let it drop right through. That would have been a first down and more. There was one guy back there. McCovey Jessen was back deep, playing free safety. And that was a problem last week. Anderson was just 1 of 14 through the air, but 6 or 7 of those incompletions were dropped passes. And boy, that could come back to haunt the Rebels. Second down and 11 with 1:50 left to go in this first half. Oh, shoot. Calder was wide open and just let it slip through his hands. So Cameron out wide on the left side. He is the Rebels' leading receiver this season. Anderson steps back, looking to throw. This time goes deep down the right sideline, and he's looking for Hoffner, who is mugged. The ball drops to the ground. No flag, incomplete pass. And Caden Sorensen on the defense with a clean pass breakup. A long ways, looking through a dirty window. Looked like a lot of contact, but no. So the incomplete pass. Anderson was 5 of 6, missed on his last 2. Brings up a 3rd down and 21 for Rich. 1:45 left to go in this first half. Anderson again in the shotgun. 2 free safeties this time for Altamont as Jared steps back, now steps up away from the pressure to the right side, and he's tripped up, wrapped up, and drugged down from behind. Picks up about 9, and he's across midfield at the Altamont 47. So that was a 9-yard gain for Anderson. And now looks like the Longhorns will take a timeout as we've got 1:30 left to go in this first half. Give a quick recap of how this game has gone so far. The Longhorns got it first, and it took them just 2 plays to go 70 yards. McKay Foy ran it for 10 on the first play, then went for 60 yards in the score on the second play from scrimmage. Altamont failed on the point after touchdown. Rich got it back, answered right back, and failed on the extra point as well, so we're tied at 6. 2 plays later, McKay Foy goes 50 yards for the score, and it was rust to rust. Parker to Cooper for the extra point, 2-point conversion. And Altamont went up 14-6. Rebels fumbled on their next 2 possessions, but their defense, since giving up those first 2 touchdown runs, their defense has been solid. A 3-and-out, a 3-and-out, and a 6-and-out for Altamont. But Rich fumbled, put together a nice long drive, scored, failed on the 2-point conversion. It was 14-12, and that's where we've been since that point. The Rebels scored with 5:20 left to go in this second quarter. Rich facing a 4th down and 12. Longhorns called a timeout. Rebels line up like they're going to go for it here at the Altamont 47, a 4th and 12. Anderson in the shotgun, and Rich jumps off. There was some definite movement from the defensive line, but I think the Rebel offensive line moved before the defense got into the neutral zone. Lane Benson may have even jumped because of the Rebel movement on the offensive line. That puts Rich back at their own 48. On the false start, and now you got to rethink. Do you go for it here? On a 4th and 16, Anderson is the kicker, or the punter. So you've got the option. He's lined up to punt it away, and now the Rich defense needs to come up big. High snap, Anderson gets it. and boots it fairly low line drive, but some good defense. It's muffed and then dropped or fallen on top of good heads-up play by Hansen to drop on that ball at about the 15. That's the first punt of the game for the Rebel offense. They've scored twice, fumbled twice, and punted once. So Altamont takes over, and I believe they have one timeout remaining. 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line. And, boy, the way that Foy carried the ball, his first 4 carries, 135 yards, 2 touchdowns, watch out for him, especially where you might be, Rebels will drop back 2 free safeties to watch out for the pass. So keep an eye on Foy. I formation, Rust fakes the handoff to Foy, rolls to his right, pressure comes, he just fires it down, incomplete. Looking for Sheets, the intended receiver. So Rust 1 of 3 for 9 yards after that incompletion. And it's a 2nd down and 10 for the Longhorns. 1:17 left to go in the T7 Propane in Woodruff second quarter. For all your propane needs, call 435-793-4208. Stay tuned for our T-Bars Body Shop Technoglass of Evanston halftime show. We'll have your Town of Woodruff standout student and talking with Brayley Bell, a senior at Rich High School, during halftime. I formation for a 2nd down and 10. Rust takes the snap, pitches left side for Foy. He's around the left side, breaks a tackle, cuts upfield, down the sideline, finally pushed out near the 1st down marker. And a lot of whistles. I don't see a flag, but maybe I just don't see it as the officials converge near the middle of the field. And we may have a hold. We do have a hold against Altamont. Boy, it's been quite a contrast. Their first 2 possessions and their first 4 plays, 135 yards, 2 touchdowns. Since then, they haven't been able to get much going offensively, and they've been called for a lot of holding penalties. That's the 3rd hold of the game against the Longhorns. And it pushes them back half the distance to the goal, to about the 7.5, 8-yard line. Actually, they go back 10 yards. It's a 2nd and 20. Here's the snap. Rust gives up the middle. Foy wrapped up, and then some Porter Weston comes in and helps on the tackle. Kenan Clark was the first one to wrap him up, and Weston helped out. Now the Rebels take a timeout with 1:05 left to go in the second quarter. And it'll be 3rd and about 11. That was a nice 9-yard gain for Foy. They spot it out at the 15. Or about the 14, actually. And Foy, boy, he's run the ball well today. First, as I mentioned a few times already, his first 4 carries, 10, 60, 15, and 50, 2 touchdowns. Since then, the Rebels have held him in check a little bit better, but 6 carries for 35 yards is still about 5.5, almost 6 yards per carry. That's impressive. Even when the Rebels have, quote-unquote, bottled him up, he's going for 6 yards per touch. He's a good running back. I'm surprised that maybe my stats are wrong. What I found on Deseret News said he had 431 yards coming into the game. He looks a lot more explosive and dangerous to me than, well, with the yards today, he's up over 600 rushing on the season. Foy, the deep back, I formation on a 3rd and 11. Rebels need to stop here with 1:05. Rebels would like to get the ball back and try to score one more time. Here's the handoff, right side to Foy, and he follows his block. Rebels then stop him and push him back. A lot of physical play after the whistle. A gain of about 5, and Rich will take a final timeout to stop the clock at 59.4. Foy got out to the 20-yard line. That's 6 more yards to his first half tally of 176 yards and 2 touchdowns on just 12 carries for Foy. We'll take a moment here again to thank the sponsor of our camera tonight is Bear Lake Realty. Gary and Amber McKee in Garden City. If you're friends with Gary on Facebook, you know how much he loves Bear Lake. He's been getting out on the lake for the water skiing, the slalom skiing, I think. And anyway, Bear Lake Realty, if you want to enjoy things like that this time of year, the lake is just beautiful glass. If you can stand the cooler water, visit BearLakeRealty.com if you're looking for realty in the Bear Lake area. Fourth down and 5. Hansen back to punt this one away. Rebels have Clark and Cook back deep to return. Hansen calls for it. Clock starts with 55 seconds. It's a low line drive. One high bounce, another bounce, and it dies, and the Rebels will be forced to just let it die near midfield, just on the Rebel side of the 50 at about the 48. Rich will take it over with 49 seconds left to go in this first half. The second quarter, again, is brought to you by T7 Propane in Woodruff. I mentioned the T-Bar-S Body Shop Technoglass of Evanston halftime show. We'll have some first half highlights brought to you by Rich County. Rebels with a championship cause. For all your propane needs, call 435-793-4208. That's T7 Propane in Woodruff. Anderson in the shotgun. Clark on his left, I believe Smith on his right. Cook on the left side. Anderson takes the snap, throws out to the right sideline. He's got Trineri. Nice little hook route to the outside, and Trineri makes the catch. First down territory at the 40. A 12-yard gain for Trineri. That puts Anderson over 100 yards passing in the game. Trineri at 36 yards on 2 receptions. Rebels get out of bounds, so that stops the clock. Into Altamont territory. 1st and 10. That took about 6 seconds. Anderson again in the shotgun, takes the snap, good protection. Nope, now he rolls to his right, throws for Cook. He makes the catch on the left sideline, makes one man miss, and then he's surrounded, so he dives to the ground for a short gain of about 5 near the 35-yard line, and now the Rebels will have to hurry up. A 5-yard gain for Jordan Cook. That's his 7th reception of the season. He's up close to 100 yards receiving in this for the year. Rebels up quickly to the line of scrimmage. Anderson rolling to his right, looking for protection. Now steps up away from the pressure, throws as he's hit, and just threw it away out of bounds. He had Trineri right there, but they had no chance to actually get him the pass. Good defensive coverage and good pressure in the backfield with 11.2 seconds left in the first half. Rebels have a 3rd down and 5 at the Altamont 35. So Rich trailing 14-12 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. The difference has been Altamont converted a 2-point conversion. The Rebels did not. Plus, Rich with 2 fumbles. Altamont has not. Have they turned it over? I don't think they have. Anderson in the shotgun, takes the snap, steps up. Now pressure comes. He'll be brought down, and that'll end the first half. Good pressure from the Altamont Longhorn defensive front. And at the half, the Rebels trail 14-12 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. This second quarter has been brought to you by T7 Propane in Woodruff. For all your propane needs, call 435-793-4208. Our T-Bar-S Body Shop Technoglass of Evanston halftime show coming up after the break here on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
It's Truck Month going on right now at Auto Farm Castle Rock in Evanston. Receive 0% financing for 72 months on select models or get 20% off select models. Receive up to $3,500 in bonus cash. Auto Farm is stuffed with vehicles at the guaranteed lowest prices. It's Truck Month going on now at Auto Farm. 0% for 72 or 20% off. Chevrolet, find new roads.
Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet. We're a different kind of dealer.
When it comes to parts and service, don't rely on anyone other than the team at Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley. The professional mechanics and parts department team have the experience to help you with whatever you need. When you need to add a winch, get an extra belt or spark plugs, winterize, repair or replace tires, or have a rebuild, they can help. Whatever you need, gift ideas, parts, accessories, or a great mechanic, you'll find it all at Cache Honda Yamaha in between Logan and Smithfield on Highway 91.
Your vehicle represents one of the major investments you'll make in your lifetime. If you have an accident, large or small, take care of your investment with a professional team that understands the value of your vehicle. T-Bar-S Body Shop and Technoglass of Evanston has been repairing and restoring vehicles to just like new condition for over 7 years. Don't trust your investment to just anyone. Let T-Bar fix your car. T-Bar-S Body Shop and Technoglass of Evanston. Stop in today for a free estimate. 515 County Road.
If you're looking for live local sports, local news, weather, live classifieds, and free photo downloads, search no more. MyLocalRadio.com has what you want. Watch your teams live or browse the tens of thousands of photographs of Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho high school events, from speech and drama competitions, rodeo, an array of different athletics, activities, community events, and so much more. Visit MyLocalRadio.com today and find what you're looking for.
Welcome to the halftime show, brought to you by T-Bar Body Shop, Technoglass of Evanston. At the half, the Rebels trail 14-12. The difference has been a 2-point conversion converted for the Longhorns. A 2-point conversion failed for the Rebels. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with some first half highlights presented by Rich County. That's right after this on this presentation of Rich Rebel football on Rebel Radio, KADQ FM 98.3, with live streaming video at mylocalradio.com.
Everybody gets rock chips at one time or another in your vehicle window. From now on, anytime you get a chip in your windshield, don't think, oh booger. Instead, think T-Bar Body Shop and Technoglass of Evanston, home of the 1995 rock chip repair. Rock chips are fixed in minutes, and the team at T-Bar Body Shop and Technoglass of Evanston will come to you, or you can stop by the shop. T-Bar Body Shop and Technoglass of Evanston, home of the 1995 rock chip repair. Call us today.
Welcome back to the halftime show, brought to you by T-Bar Body Shop, Technoglass of Evanston. Let T-Bar fix your car. Take a quick look at some first half highlights presented by Rich County. Rebels with a championship cause. The Longhorns with the highlights early on. Boy, McKay Foy couldn't be stopped out of the gate. He came out running hard. His first 4 carries went for 10, 60, 15, and 50. 2 scores, 135 yards on 4 carries for McKay Foy to start the game. And Altamont led early, 6-0. They failed on the extra point attempt after their first possession. Rebels answered with a 9-play, 60-yard drive, tied it up at 6. Then the Longhorns answered again. McKay Foy, 50-yard touchdown run. It was 14-6 as Rust found Rust in the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Rebels on the ensuing kickoff fumbled on the return. Altamont took over, but the Rich defense, after those first 2 scores, the Rich defense has been very good. And let me just mention, McKay Foy, his first 4 carries, 135 yards, 2 touchdowns. His next 7 carries, 36 yards, and no touchdowns. Now, that's still a pretty good clip. 36 yards on 7 carries is 5+ yards per carry, but when you compare that with 135 yards on 4 carries, Rebels defense did its job. And Altamont also hit with some penalties later on in that first half. So Rebel defense did its job, forced the 3-and-out. Rich took over, was driving, got down to the Altamont 18, and fumbled it away. Altamont then another 3-and-out. Rich answered that with a 15-play drive that was capped off with a 8-yard touchdown pass from Anderson to Calder. 15 plays, 75 yards. Rich went for 2 to try and tie and failed. So it's 14-12. Altamont went 6-and-out. Rebels went 5 plays and out. They had a chance to make something happen. Cameron Calder was wide open. Would have been a first down and a long pass play, but just let it slip through his fingers, so the Rebels had to punt. Altamont got it back, trying to score before the end of the half. Couldn't do it. Punted it away. Rebels got it with under a minute to go, and the drive stalled out. At the half, Altamont leads 14-12 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. Offensively, Rich with the advantage, not on the ground, but overall. Rich mentioned one of the Epic Recreation keys of the game was win the line of scrimmage. They didn't do that for the first 2 Altamont possessions, but I believe they've done that since then. They've been found better balance in this game as well. Rich with 99 yards passing in the game, 110 yards on the ground for a total of 209 rather. Altamont with just 9 yards through the air and 173 on the ground, 182 total. And of those 173, 176 have come from McKay Foy. Now, do the math there. That doesn't quite work out. Parker Rest, 1 carry, -3 yards. The only man he's given it to is McKay Foy. And actually, Zach Hansen has 1 carry for 1 yard. So, Rebels, again, it's been an adjustment from the first 2 Altamont possessions and since then. It's been 2 different ball games. Altamont's first 2 possessions, they went 4 plays, scored twice. McKay Foy had 135 yards rushing. But since then, Rebels have stuffed the Longhorns, so what they've tried to do offensively. Rebels have been a bit more consistent, but again, the couple of turnovers have really hurt Rich. 14-12 at the half. Stay tuned. These first half highlights have been brought to you by Rich County Rebels with a championship cause. When we return on the T-Bars Body Shop Technoglass of Evanston halftime show, we'll visit with this week's standout student, and that is Braley Bell, a senior at Rich High School. The interview will be brought to you by the town of Woodruff, Mayor Bo Holman, council members Hugh Holman, Audrey Jessen, Raymond Franson, Millie Bradshaw, and clerk Lisa Bell. And that's coming up on The Wildlife and mylocalradio.com.
Woodruff, Utah has a long pioneer history with a post office that has been in operation since 1872. Woodruff was named after Wilford Woodruff, the fourth president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and is home to the Woodruff Steakhouse, a former Latter-day Saint office building that is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Our rich pioneer heritage is reflected in all our students by their hard work and commitment to excellence in the classroom and in their sports.
Ryan Steineckert with senior Braley Bell at Rich High School. Braley, thanks for your time today.
Yeah, no problem.
How's your senior year going at Rich?
It's pretty good, Been keeping busy.
What have you been busy with?
College classes.
Are you working on the associate's degree?
Yeah, I'm going to get it. I've got it all planned out.
What classes are you taking right now?
Oh, man. Let's see, there's business, art, stats, music. Oh, God, what else is there? Mr. K's English class. And then I have 2 regular high school classes.
Are any of those classes that you're taking now things you enjoy enough that maybe you're thinking about them for a career?
No, really. That's next semester stuff.
What is that next semester stuff?
Criminal justice.
What got you into that?
My mom works at the sheriff's office, so I figured I'd try it.
Do you enjoy, have you shadowed her for a day, or is there anything about it that you've enjoyed?
Well, I usually go hang out with her after work, but then I watch all the cop shows, and it's just something I've always been interested in and wanted to do.
So do you know what the steps are after high school to pursue a criminal justice degree?
Well, since I'm graduating with my associates, then I'll have to finish my bachelor's, probably Weber State, and then I have to be 21 to go into the police academy. And then I plan on going into the detective and see if I can be an FBI agent.
Very cool, very cool. Let's get back to your senior year right now. What are you involved with at Rich High School?
I'm a cheerleader.
That keeps you busy with the college classes, being a cheerleader?
Oh, yes.
What do you like about doing cheer?
I don't know. You get to know different girls from different grades, and you all come really close together, and you become actually quite a bit like a family. It's really fun.
How long have you been doing cheer?
This is my second year.
What got you into it last year?
Well, I tried out my sophomore year, actually, because my other sister, Chloe, used to do it, and she loved it, so I thought it always looked really fun, so I figured I could try it.
Chloe's not doing it this year, though?
No, she decided she didn't want to.
I guess you've enjoyed it if you decided to come back for this year.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Tell me more about the cheer team and how many girls you have out on the team.
Okay, so right now we have 7 girls, and then we have Canyon. He does the mascot, but he also bases and stunts and stuff with us. So we do that kind of stuff, and I don't know, it's been pretty calm. There's a bit of drama. It comes with 7 girls. So
I remember seeing last year a lot more stunting and lifts and throws and things like that than in past years. Are you guys going to start getting into that this year?
I think we will start getting into it more. We had a couple things Cashin has hurt her shoulder, and she had something happen with her tendon a while ago, and then I had eye surgery this year, so it's put us back a bit.
Do you want to talk about the eye surgery? Can you tell me what it was?
Yeah, they just fixed my lazy eye because it was bad.
Does that help you see better?
Yeah, because then I can actually focus on things, and I'm not looking at the side of the room.
Very good. I'm glad that's working out for you. Braley, will you do anything else, the musical or anything else at Rich High School this year?
I was going to try track. I'm not good at acting, so musical's not my thing, really.
What events do you think you'd like to do in track and field?
Oh, God, I don't know. I know there's running. That's it.
That's cool. That's maybe I'll try it. I've got some time in the spring. Any hobbies that you have outside of school, things you like to do on your free time?
Well, I don't have much free time, but I do like to ride horses and draw. Reading's a big thing I do, too.
How long have you been here in Randolph or in Rich County?
We moved up the end of May 2014.
What brought you here?
My mom married Simbo.
That's a good reason to come up here, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I like it more than the city.
Where were you before?
Harriman, Utah. Nobody really knows where it's at. It's just down by Salt Lake.
Down Southwest Valley, Salt Lake Valley, right?
Yeah.
So you like it here better? Why?
I don't know. I like the small town because everyone, get along. And there's different things to do up here than there is in the city. And I just enjoy it more.
Let's go back to cheer for a bit. What's your favorite thing about being on the cheer squad?
I love how close we get with the girls, and I love in cheer in general, I just love stunting. It's just a really fun thing because you have to build that trust and you have to come close as a team.
No more home football games. So what's the next performance or the next time that you guys will be out active with the cheer squad?
Well, we do still have like the volleyball games. We just don't dance. So the next time we actually do like a halftime is basketball season.
Have you been working on dances and looking ahead to that?
A couple of them, yeah.
Do you like doing the dancing?
Yeah, the dances are fun. They're not like very long, which is good because I kind of struggle with stuff like that. So,
Braylee, do you have academic goals set for yourself for your senior year?
oh god, just my associates is like the only thing I've got going.
When you've got something like that going on as a senior, that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
How about any goals as a cheerleader? Or does the team have goals? Do you have individual goals?
Team goals, we just have like to be better than we were at the last game. And then for me, I have like flexibility goals, like splits and stuff.
Very cool. Always getting better.
Oh, yeah.
Anything else we should touch on about Braylee Bell?
I think you covered it.
Then last question, Braylee, what's the best thing about being a Rich Rebel?
Oh, man, I don't know. I just love it. It's just a good thing to be a Rebel.
Braylee Bell, senior at Rich High School. Thanks so much for your time and good luck through the rest of your senior year.
Thank you, Ryan.
This has been the Town of Woodruff Standout Students featuring Braylee Bell. We're getting ready for the Town of Randolph third quarter. That's coming up in a couple of minutes. Also got some state cross-country results for you. That's after this on this presentation of Rebel Football on KADQ FM 98.3. Watch the game live at mylocalradio.com. At the half, Rebels trail 14-12 at Altamont.
When you need body work or a windshield replacement, it can be as simple as dropping your vehicle off and picking it up a couple of days later. T-Bar Body Shop and Technoglass of Evanston works directly with your insurance company to save you time and hassle. We know it isn't convenient to have a vehicle in the shop. That's why we work hard to repair and restore as quickly as possible to get you back on the road. Make it hassle-free. Let T-Bar fix your car. T-Bar Body Shop and Technoglass of Evanston. Stop in today for a free estimate. 515 County Road.
Welcome back to the T-Bar Body Shop Technoglass of Evanston halftime show. The Rebels trail 14-12 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. Real quickly, the Rebel cross-country teams and teams throughout the state competed today in the state cross-country meet at Sugar House Park down in the Salt Lake Valley. And Rebels did well. After last week, both the girls and boys Rebel cross-country teams won the district or the region meet. Rebels did well in the girls. Lauren Thompson, 4th overall. Jackie Leifson, 8th. And the Rich Rebel girls cross-country team finished 3rd at state. Drew Moldenauer on the boys' side finished 11th overall, and helped the Rebel boys finish 5th in the cross-country meet. So a good finish to the cross-country season for the Rebel cross-country runners. Again, region titles, 3rd for the girls, 5th overall at state for the boys. Here at the half, Rich trails 14-12, 2 turnovers, a couple of fumbles, a couple of the differences in this game. McKay Foy, a big difference in this game. He's got 12 carries, 176 yards in the ball game. His first 4 went for 135 yards and 2 touchdowns. Rebels, though, the 2 fumbles have really hurt. They also had a dropped pass that would have been a first down and more when they were driving late in the second quarter, and that would have made a big difference in this game as well. But that's in the past now as we get set for the third quarter. Brought to you by the Town of Randolph. Longhorns have yet to come out of the locker room. Coach Trent Richens in his first year of head coaching football, and he's done a nice job from what I can tell. Certainly Altamont last year went 1-9. They're 4-4 this year and leading the Rebels at the half, a team that Altamont has not beaten since 2003. And the Longhorns, things seem to be heading in the right direction for Altamont. Well, our halftime show has been brought to you by T-Bar Body Shop Technoglass of Evanston. Let T-Bar fix your car. We've got a couple of minutes added to that halftime clock as Altamont still taking their time in the locker room. It's senior night here in Altamont. And a nice night. It was about 65 degrees at kickoff, and for mid-October, boy, definitely can't complain about those kind of temperatures. Rebels in that first half, I had them with 99 passing yards, 110 on the ground. That's a total of 209. Longhorns, 9 yards through the air, but that's not where much of their focus was. Rush attempted just 3 passes, plus a pass on a 2-point conversion attempt, which they converted. But 173 yards, 174 on the ground for a total of 183. Again, most of those from McKay Foy, 12 carries, 176 yards.
And if let me just do some quick calculations here. 176 divided by 12 is 14.7 yards per carry. That's impressive for McKay Foy. Longhorns, the big difference, I think, if you could point to one thing, the difference in this game so far, a 2-point conversion attempt that was a success for the Longhorns that made it 14-6. The Rebels, a few minutes later, answered with a touchdown and failed on the 2-point conversion attempt. So that's the 2-point difference right there. Longhorns leading 14-12 on the Stacey's Repair scoreboard. Other games going on this week in 1A football. Layton Christian plays at Duchesne. That's for the 1A North Region title, and I believe that game is tomorrow. Now in the South, Parowan is at Milford, Monticello at Kanab. That Parowan at Milford game is for the region title. And again, the winner between Parowan and Milford will host the loser between tonight's game, Rich and Altamont, and vice versa. The loser or the loser here will go to the winner of Parowan or Milford. So if you're looking surely at matchups and how the Rebels played against Parowan and Milford, you'd like to see the Rebels play the loser, you'd like to see the Rebels play Milford. Whether Milford wins or loses tomorrow against Parowan, the Rebels certainly matched up better. Compare a 21-7 loss that Milford scored late in the fourth quarter to make it 21-7 versus a 26-0 loss against Parowan. So a big difference there between those two teams and what the Rebels did against each of them. So that's what's coming up. Next week is the first round of the state playoffs. Games are usually on Friday. They can, I think, allowed to be either Friday or Saturday, but with volleyball state tournament going on Friday and Saturday, we'll hope that game is Friday afternoon so we can bring you as much volleyball, especially the championship matches and later matches in the tournament on Saturday. But either way, we'll have Rebel football for you next week and Rebel volleyball as well on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com. Josh Oldroyd set to kick this one off as Altamont will boot it away. Rebels will receive to start this third quarter. Our halftime has been brought to you by the T-Bar-S Body Shop Technoglass of Evanston. Oldroyd boots it away. It's a short, high kick fielded by the Rebels at about the 30. Up the left side, not much of a return, out near the 35, maybe to the 40-yard line. And Rich will take over with good field position to start this third quarter. Rich will start from their own 40. First half, Rebels started at their own 40, their own 30, their own at the 50, their own 25, their own 32, and their own 48. So this is about average field position for what we've seen today for the Rebels. Ball on the close to the left hash, but near the middle of the field. Anderson takes the snap, gives to Clark, who hesitates and then dives forward, spins down to the 45 for a gain of 5. Clark in that first half, 14 carries, 74 yards. He's at 5 for 79, or 15 carries rather, for 79 yards in the game, 1 touchdown. Rebels' other score came in on a pass from Anderson to Calder. Rich trails 14-12 as we're just underway in the town of Randolph third quarter. Wishbone behind Anderson under center, takes the snap, turns, gives again to Clark up the middle. First down yardage and maybe a little more. Got a good Saby Trucking offensive line hole up the middle there. And they'll spot it right at the 50-yard line, right at midfield. A 5-yard gain for Clark and a comprehensive family dental first down. Rebels. Bunches of first downs in that first half. Give up the middle again out of the shotgun and a short gain for Rich. And I believe it was Clark again on the carry. He goes for about 4. He's up to 88 yards on 17 carries. To the Altamont 46. Rebels just chipping away. Love nothing more than to eat up 7 or 8 or more minutes off the clock and score a touchdown, take the lead. Wishbone behind Anderson, takes the snap, gives again to Clark, starts up the middle, bounces outside, first down, dragging tacklers down inside the 40 to about the 45 or the 35. And a nice run for Kenan Clark, running hard. He had 200 yards and 2 touchdowns last week against Layton Christian, and he's up nearing 100 yards rushing in this game. Takes that ball to the 35. That's 99 yards in the game after that 11-yard run for Kenan Clark. Again, the Wishbone behind Anderson.
Trineri wide on the right side. Jared takes the snap, turns, and gives again to Clark. Right side, he's wrapped up, drags a tackler forward, hit hard, and he pushes through that would-be tackler. He is brought down, but down near the 26. That'll be a gain of about 9, and close to a first down for Rich on that first down carry to the 26. Clark continues to be the workhorse. That's 19 carries in the ball game, 108 yards by my tally. Second down and short. Let's see if the Rebels take a shot here. Wishbone behind Anderson. Fakes or gives the handoff to Cook, and he is smashed before he even gets to the line of scrimmage. I think he fell sideways to the line. No gain at the 26 for Jordan Cook, who has 6 carries, 15 yards in the game, and his third and short for Rich. Just a yard to go. Ball on the right hash at the Altamont 26-yard line. Rebels trailing 14-12 with under 10 to go in the third quarter. Again, the wishbone. Anderson takes the snap, turns and gives to Clark. Makes one tackler miss. He's got the first down and just a little more, maybe a yard extra to about the 24, and that moves the chains. Third first down of the drive. Kenan Clark with just 2 yards. He needed 1, so we'll definitely take the 2. Ball on the right hash for a 1st and 10. First down is brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental. Dr. Sean Grohl, providing quality family dentistry since 1998. Offices in Randolph and in Hiram, Utah for your convenience needs. Ball on the right hash. Wishbone behind Anderson. Takes the snap, turns and gives to Clark again. Starts right, then spins and dives up the middle, down inside the 15, or down inside the 20 rather, to about the 19. We'll see where they spot it. Looks like they'll put it on the 20, just inside the 20. A 4-yard gain. Clark at 21 carries for 114 yards. Rich again gives it to Clark. Right side, he finds a big Saby Trucking offensive line hole, breaks one tackle inside the 10. That'll move the chains again. Another Comprehensive Family Dental, Dr. Sean Grohl, first down. Clark picks up 10 more yards. Rebels move the chains again. And a 1st and goal coming up for Rich at the 10-yard line. Rich fumbled it twice in the first half. Got inside the 18, or got to the 18 of Altamont before giving it away on that fumble. See if they can focus in here, get another score. Anderson turns, gives to Clark again, up the middle, fights his way to the 5, and then he's brought down hard. Good gang tackling by the Longhorns, and Clark picks up 5 to the 5-yard line. So a 2nd and goal at the 5. Ball near the middle of the field. As the Rebels come up to the line of scrimmage. 7.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Rebels down 14-12, looking to take their first lead of the game. Anderson turns, gives to Clark up the middle, sidesteps one, spins around, dives down near the goal line. He's very close but short. Longhorns hold for now, and a late flag. Oh, no, that's a football on the sideline. I thought the angle had the football right coming out. There's a little a ball boy right between me and the ref. And that ball flying in the air looked like a football, or looked like a flag flying in the air. 4-yard gain for Clark. Rich looking to punch it in on a 3rd and goal. Anderson turns, gives to Clark. Second effort, and he's in there. Touchdown, Rebels, and Rich is on top. A Pro Physical Therapy touchdown brought to you by Dr. Dallas Clark at Pro Physical Therapy. And Rich takes the lead for the first time tonight. They trailed 6-0. They had tied it at 6-6. But Altamont has led from the second play from scrimmage until that play right there. Rich is on top, 18-14 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. We'll see what they do here, if they go for 2 or try just to kick the extra point. If they go for 2 and get it, they'd be up by 6. If they don't get it, they're up by 4. Anderson takes the snap, fumbles it, picks it up, tries to drive forward, and he'll be stopped well short. So that 2-point conversion attempt goes nowhere, and Rich leads 18-14 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. After that 12-play drive, goes 60 yards, and Rich leads 18-14. Back after this in the Town of Randolph third quarter on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
Randolph is located near the geographic center of Rich County, Utah, on a high plateau with an average elevation of 6,300 feet. The first group of settlers, led by Randolph H. Stewart, camped on a knoll south of the present town site on March 14, 1870. Randolph is a town of extremes, from 90 degrees in the summer to minus 40 in the winter. The folks who live here are also extreme, extremely loyal, extremely friendly, and extremely supportive of our youth. Good luck to all the Rich Rebels this year from everyone at the town of Randolph.
Well, the Rebels put together a 12-play, 60-yard drive. Their second drive of the game that's gone 5+ minutes, and Rich takes the lead 18-14 with 6:50 left in the town of Randolph third quarter. Here's the Bear Lake Physical Therapy kickoff, helping Rebels get back in the game since 1998. Sheets fields the kick, hands off to Foy, coming around from the right side, going around left. The Rebels, though, stay in their lanes. Kenan Clark makes the tackle at about the 25, and good kick coverage by the Rebels. So boy, that could have been dangerous for a couple reasons. If Rebels get out of their lanes and start going to the left, McKay Foy has the speed and the running ability. He could have gone to the house, but instead the Rebels cover it well, make the tackle. 1st and 10, Longhorns at their own, about the 28-yard line. Is that right, Phil? You got better eyes than I do. Phil Oldroyd, the dad of one of the seniors, Josh Oldroyd. And I want to thank you for helping me out tonight, man. I formation behind Parker Rust. Under center, ball on the left hash. Takes the snap, gives to Foy, going left side. Squeezes through one small gap, and he's got a quick first step. Gets up to full speed, picks up 10 or 12, and a first down. Boy, once he gets through that gap, he gets up to full speed in a hurry. Out to the 40-yard line, a first down, and Foy, his first, again, 4 carries went for 135 yards. He's at 176 total, make it 188 after that 12-yard gain and a first down for Altamont. I formation again, Rust under center. Takes the snap, turns, gives to Foy, going right side this time. Rebels slow him down, bring him down, and hold him to a gain of about 2. Maybe 3 for Foy. We'll see where they spot it. Line of scrimmage was the 40. They'll put it out at the 43, so it is a 3-yard gain. And, boy, if you can hold him to 3 or 5 yards on a carry, you're doing pretty good based on what I've seen tonight. 191 yards on the ground on just 14 carries, 2 touchdowns for McKay Foy. 2nd down and 7 for the Longhorn offense. Rebels on top, 18-14 on the Stacey's Repair scoreboard. Parker Rust takes the snap, turns, gives to Foy again from the I formation, and this time the Rebels bottle it up. Stop him almost completely. He may have gained 1 yard. His momentum carried him forward. That's just Foy's strength, pushing through the Rebel defense for 1.5 yards out near the 45. Give him a pair on the carry, and it's a 3rd down and 5 for the Longhorn offense. Midway through this third quarter, Rebels got the opening kick of this second half and ran off almost 6 minutes on that drive to score and take the lead. Parker Rust takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls right. Pressure comes. He's hit hard. A flag flies. The ball, or the pass, I think, fell incomplete, but we'll have a roughing the passer penalty, and we'll move the chains. If it wasn't roughing the passer, it was maybe a targeting. The helmet went down on the Rebel from the Rebel tackler, and it was a couple of steps before he got there and made the hit on Rust. So the flag back around the 40-yard line, or around the 35-yard line, will move it to midfield. I think this is marked off from the line of scrimmage. So, 15 yards on the personal foul. Pretty easy call there, as you saw Rust release that ball, and I didn't see who the Rebel defender was, but that moves the football all the way to the Rebel 42 for a first down for the Longhorns. Under 5 to go in the third quarter. Hansen goes in motion. Rust runs to his left. This is a quarterback keeper all the way, and he doesn't get much. Hit hard around the left side. Driven to the ground after a short gain, maybe 1 yard, to the 41.
Cooper Rust, it'll count for his second carry of the game. He's at -2 yards. His first one went for a loss of 3. Second down and 9 for the Longhorn offense. Rebels leading 18-14. Took their first lead of the game just a couple of minutes ago, following a 12-play, 60-yard drive. I formation behind Rust, under center. Same formation they've had most of the day. One receiver left, one wide right. Give to Foy on the right side, and the Rebels wrap him up and bring him down. Short gain, about 2, inside the 40 of the Rebels. And again, Foy just using his strength, fought through a tackle. It looked like he'd gained nothing, but he picks up 2 to the Rebel 39. And that brings up a 3rd and 7. Out wide to the left goes Lane Benson. One man wide to the right is Zach Hansen. Split backs this time, pro formation in the backfield. Rust under center, takes the snap, fakes one way, gives the other, and the Rebels stuff it. Nowhere to go for Carson Sheets, and his first carry nets nothing, maybe a loss of a yard. Rebels got in the backfield, good defensive penetration. And it's 4th and we'll call it 8. Looks like they need about the 32 for a first down. Ball in the left hash. Altamont taking their time here. Looks like they may go for it. We'll see what they line up in. 3:05 left to go. Running clock in the town of Randolph third quarter. I formation. Russ takes the snap, rolls to his right, sets up the screen, and he throws. He's got Sheets, and Carson is wrapped up and brought down from behind. Wyatt Weston read that well. One of the Rebel defensive tackles started to pressure the quarterback, saw what was happening, dropped back, made the tackle. Sheets got to about the 38-yard line, so it's a gain of about 3. But it is a turnover on downs, and Rich takes over 1st and 10 with 2:51 left to go in the third quarter from their own 37-yard line. Anderson turns, gives to Clark up the middle. He's wrapped up, but he breaks through a tackle, stood up, but he pushes forward, keeps driving his feet. First down. He was stopped at about the 40 and drove his way to a first down and more out to the 50-yard line. A 13-yard gain for Kenan Clark, who continues to run harder and harder as the day goes on. 13 yards there puts him at 146 on the ground, 25 carries. 1st and 10 brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental, Dr. Sean Grohl. Snap and give again up the middle. This time the Altamont defense bottles that up for a short gain. Clark picks up 1, maybe 2 yards on the carry to the Longhorn 48. And I run out of room on my stat sheet to keep track of Clark's carries. That's 26 touches for Kenan. 2nd down and 8. Wishbone. Pitch left side. Clark up the left side, and not much of a seam, but he does pick up a few down near the 45 of Altamont. Call it a 3-yard gain. Rebels leading 18-14 on the Stacey's Repair scoreboard. Time winding down in the town of Randolph third quarter, 1.5 minutes to go. Rebels up by a score of 18-14. 3rd down and 5 at the Altamont 45-yard line. Wishbone, Rebels with a hard count. Altamont moves a little bit, not into the neutral zone. Give to Clark right side, driving, first down at the 40, and then he stood up and pushed back. But he's very close to a first down. And, in fact, the chain gang started to move and then got the indication it is a first down. Another Comprehensive Family Dental Dr. Sean Grohl first down for Kenan Clark, who goes for 5 more yards. Longhorns are getting a heavy dose of Kenan Clark tonight. Wishbone, turn and give to Clark again up the middle. He has stood up, keeps his feet, but driven down. Good form tackle by McKay Foy. Boy,
That was a collision right in the middle of the field, and neither Foy nor Clark won that battle. That just ended right where it started. A 1-yard gain for Clark on the carry to the 39-yard line. Second down and 9 for the Rebel offense. Ball in the right hash. Time down to under 20 seconds left in the third. Anderson fakes the handoff, rolls to his left. Pressure comes, tries to get away and does. Then he throws, and it's through the hands of Aaron Smith. If he makes that catch, he's got a first down and a lot more. But a second dropped pass for the Rebel receivers. And good scrambling by Anderson, and then he found the open man, but just couldn't hold on to it. So now a 3rd and long for Rich at the Altamont 39-yard line. It stops the clock at 12.5 left to go in the Town of Randolph third quarter. Mayor Lynn Weston, board member Sim Bell, Brian Wires, Bridget Pugmire, Melanie Lim, and clerk Lana Peart. Rebels taking their time here, setting up in the huddle. And they come out on a 3rd down and 9. Rich on top, 18-14 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. High formation behind Anderson, 2 receivers right. Turn and give up the middle to Cook, and he'll get a short gain near the 36, about 3 yards, and that'll take us to the end of the third quarter. Brought to you by the Town of Randolph. Rebels on top, 18-14 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard as we head for the 4th and final quarter. Back right after this on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
It's Truck Month going on right now at Auto Farm Castle Rock in Evanston. Receive 0% financing for 72 months on select models or get 20% off select models. Receive up to $3,500 in bonus cash. Auto Farm is stuffed with vehicles at the guaranteed lowest prices. It's Truck Month going on now at Auto Farm. 0% for 72 or 20% off. Chevrolet, find new roads.
Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet. We're a different kind of dealer.
If you're looking for live local sports, local news, weather, live classifieds, and free photo downloads, search no more. MyLocalRadio.com has what you want. Watch your teams live or browse the tens of thousands of photographs of Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho high school events, from speech and drama competitions, rodeo, an array of different athletics, activities, community events, and so much more. Visit MyLocalRadio.com today and find what you're looking for.
Fourth down and 5 for the Rebels. They spot that one at the 36-yard line, or just outside the 36, maybe closer to the 35. Rich going to go for it here on a 4th and 5 as we start the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. Anderson rolls to his right, throws down the right sideline. The catch incomplete. Nope. Boy, it looked like maybe Huffner, or is that Trineri on the sideline? Nope, I'm 0 for 2. That was Calder, the intended receiver. Rebels turn it over on downs. So Rebels got the ball to start the third quarter, went 12 plays, 60 yards, and scored. Altamont had a drive going, then turned it over on downs. Rebels have a drive going. They turn it over on downs with 11:55 left in this ball game. Just underway in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. Visit BearLakeRealty.com. They're also the sponsor of our camera. Altamont from their own 36-yard line, a 1st and 10. And McKay Foy, 195 yards on 16 carries. I'd be surprised if he doesn't get the ball at least a few times right here. In the I formation, Rust pitches out right side to Foy. He's got the edge and some blockers. Cuts through a seam, and he spun around, barely brought down. Aaron Smith with a touchdown saving at least slowed Foy down, and then Calder made sure that he went down. But Foy with a big gain. And boy, he had some nice blocking out in front of him as well. Good seal on the defensive end, and Foy all the way to the Rebel 49-yard line. That's a 15-yard gain for Foy. And just when the Rebels think they'd had him slowed down, he went for 3, 2, and 2 on his last 3 carries, and then for 15 on that one, puts him at 210 yards in the game on just 17 carries. It's boy, that's a good 13 yards per carry. 2 touchdowns as well. He scored both times for the Longhorns. He's in the I formation, the deep back on a 1st and 10 in Rebel territory. Foy gets it, going right side, breaks around the end, breaks through, and he is going to be gone. Foy with the juke move, gets past Calder and goes the distance. And there's McKay Foy, 49-yard touchdown run. His touchdowns have been for 60, 50, and now 49 yards. Big play by McKay Foy. And Altamont retakes the lead, 20-18 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. A 49-yard run puts him at 259 yards rushing in the game on 18 carries. And the Rebels the last couple of weeks have been very susceptible to good running backs. Moffo last week had 300-plus yards. Foy 200-plus, and here's the kick by Josh Oldroyd. Boy, he booted that one well, straight up and through, but a whistle before, and a dead ball. I didn't see a flag. Oh, there is the flag down on the end zone line. Thanks. Well, Altamont, when they've scored, it's been quick strike. 2 plays and a touchdown on the first possession, 2 plays and a touchdown on their second possession. Then they'd gone scoreless for quite a while until 2 plays and a touchdown on that last possession. The Whitecap official coming toward the sideline, indicating a couple of different things. I'm not sure what the penalty is. Offsides. A dead ball offside against Rich. That'll give Altamont a little bit of extra. And now you wonder, do they go for 2? If they kick the extra point, they'd be up by a field goal, 21-18. If they go for 2 and convert, they'd be up by 4. So Rich, who hasn't kicked a field goal this year, would need a touchdown to take the lead. So assuming that Coach Richens is not paying that much attention to Rich, I would say he'll go for 2. It looks like he will. I formation, Russ in the under center, turns and gives to Sheets, and he's in. He got a nice push from the offensive line, and the 2-point conversion is good. Longhorns retake the lead, 22-18 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. We'll take a quick timeout in this Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. 11:10 left to go on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com.
When you're buying and selling real estate, you want to work with an agent that knows the area and understands property values. You want to work with an agent that listens to what you're looking for and knows how to find it for you. And it's important to know all of your options. That's why it's smart to work with the best. Gary McKee and the agents at Bear Lake Realty in Garden City, Utah, helping folks buy and sell real estate for over 25 years. When you work with Bear Lake Realty, you're working with the best. Visit BearLakeRealty.com today.
Well, the Longhorns, their scoring drives have lasted 40 seconds, 39 seconds, and 45 seconds. When they score tonight, they do it in a hurry. Rebel scoring drives have been 323, 550, and 510. Zach Hansen to kick this football away. 22-18, Longhorns with the lead. Rebels trailed all the way until the start of this second half. Rich got the ball and put together a 12-play, 60-yard drive, scored to take their first lead, 18-12. Altamont answers with a 2-play, 64-yard drive and a touchdown. Squib kick down the right sideline. Clark boots it and then picks it up at the 10, starts upfield, gets around the 15 before he's wrapped up and pulled down on a short return. And Rich will take over, 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Not good field position. With 11:04 left to go in the ball game, Rich needs to put together a drive and put one in. Looks like they'll spawn it right at the 15. And those squib kicks have been effective today for Altamont. Trineri wide to the left side. Wishbone in the backfield, Anderson under center. Strong side is the right. Here's the snap and the give. And boy, it's tough to see, but I think it was Cook with the carry. And the Rebels didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Loss of a yard. Altamont defense comes up strong on that play. Rich back to the 14. Plenty of time left in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. Anderson takes the snap, gives to Clark right side. He's tripped up, picks up a few out near the 20. The line of scrimmage was the 16.
Gain of 5 on the play.
The first down took him back to the 15, and then Clark picks up 5. He's at 162 rushing yards in the game. McKay Foy, 259, 3 touchdowns on 15 carries. 3rd down and 7 for Rich. Anderson fakes the handoff, rolls to his left, pressure comes, and he'll be hit and dropped. Didn't have time, just didn't have the time he needed, and credit the Altamont defensive front with their 2nd sack of the ball game. They'll spot that back at the 15-yard line, so a loss of 5. Russell Mitchell, the man that finally brought him down. And that'll bring up a 4th and 11 for the Rebels, a punting situation for sure. And now the Rich defense will be called upon as Anderson gets the ball, boots it away. A short punt, takes a Altamont bounce, and just that's going to only be about a 14-yard punt. Altamont will have excellent field position with 9:15 left to go. In the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter, the Rebel defense needs a stop. Altamont will take over, 1st and 10 at the Rebel 30, about the 31-yard line. Best field position of the day for either team. I formation, Foy the deep back. Watch out as Russ takes the snap, gives to Foy left side, and this time the Rebels slow him down and drag him down. Porter Weston and Jaden Nelson bring Russ down Foy down after a gain of about 1. At the 29-yard line. That's 260 yards on the ground for Foy tonight. 8:45 left to go in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. Rebels trailing 22-18 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. Rust under center. I formation behind him, turns, gives again to Foy. Left side, and he started outside but then cut up and picked up a couple near the 25. I think they'll spot it closer to the 26 for a gain of 3. Yeah, just short of the 25. Rebels of Foy, especially after those first 4 carries, he's gone for just a little 5, 1, and then breaks one open for 49 yards and a touchdown. Rebels are tasked here with stopping him for a gain of a yard or less because of this is 4-down territory for Altamont. I formation. Rust takes the snap, pitches left side for Foy. Rebels stop it, string it, but then he cuts upfield and he's got a few yards and gets down near the 20. The first down marker is the 20-yard line, and I thought I saw a flag fly. Is that would certainly help the Rebels if it's a hold, and it is against Altamont. So the hold penalty is from the 20-yard line. They'll walk it off back. Or from the 25 back to the 35. Brings up a 3rd and 15 for the Longhorns. And a timeout called. Altamont will take a quick one as well. 7:53 left to go in the ball game. Longhorns leading 22-18 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Aaron Smith. Thanks for tuning in to Rich High School Football on Rebel Radio, KADQ FM 98.3, and online at mylocalradio.com.
Minor, major, chip, crack, dent, or crinkle. Whether it's vehicle body damage or a damaged windshield, no damage is damage we can't handle. Hi, this is Matthew Rex at T-Bar-S Body Shop in Technoglass of Evanston. We take pride in bringing your vehicle back to its original state. We offer free estimates and deal with your insurance company directly. So no matter the damage, large or small, windshield, body, or paint, we'll get your vehicle back to its original state. T-Bar-S Body Shop and Technoglass of Evanston. Let T-Bar fix your car. 515 County Road.
Back at Altamont, where the Longhorns have a lead, 22-18. They have the football, facing a 3rd and 15. And the Rebels needing a stop. Rich trails. Rebels have not lost at Altamont since 2003. Well, have not lost against, I should say. Have not lost against Altamont. Have not lost to Altamont since 2003. Longhorns with Foy, the deep back in the I formation. Snap, Rust fakes the handoff there, looks over the middle, heaves it deep down the middle of the field. Rebels are all there, and Calder knocks it down. I thought he was going to pick it off, which would have been a bad decision down inside the 5. Of course, now the Longhorns have one more play on a 4th and 15. Cooper Rust was the intended receiver. Rebels had 3 defenders around him, so they read that well. And it's 4th down and 15. Going to assume the Longhorns would punt here at the Rebel 35-yard line. 7:46 left to go in the Bear Lake Realty 4th quarter. Rich took their first lead of the game with 6:50 left in the 3rd quarter, but the Longhorns, after a couple turnovers on downs, one from Altamont, one from Rich, Altamont took it back, and McKay Foy ran off another 49-yard touchdown run. And now Altamont hustles up to the line of scrimmage, and they'll go for it. Or at least line up to go for it. Rust rolls out to his left, looking to throw, hesitates, pressure comes, he's hit, heaves it downfield, incomplete. Ander Rex got the pressure on, and this time, no question, he got there in time. No personal foul, no roughing the passer. The pass incomplete, and Rich holds. Parker Rust throws incomplete, and it's a turnover on downs. So Rich will take over with 7:39 left to go. And the heavy dose of Kennon Clark up the middle has been slowed down. The Longhorns have adjusted to what the Rebels were doing on those plays. Rich from their own 35-yard line, 1st and 10. Trailing 22-18. The Bear Lake Realty 4th quarter. Give to Clark. Right side, he breaks free. 1st down and more. The 45 near the 50 before he's finally hit and brought down. And Kennon Clark with his 31st carry of the ball game gets it out to midfield. 15 yards on a comprehensive family dental. Dr. Sean Grohl, 1st down. For the Rebels, that's a bunch of 1st downs in this game. That's 15 yards on the carry. 177 rushing yards for Kennon. Again, the wishbone in the backfield, 1st and 10. Give right side. Clark hesitates and then dives into the defense and picks up a few into Altamont territory near the 46, close to the 47. A 3-yard gain. A 2nd and 7 for Rich with under 7 minutes to go. The Stacy's Repair scoreboard. Altamont leading 22-18. Huffner wide on the right side. Wishbone in the backfield. Anderson turns and gives right side again to Clark. And he drives forward. Nice Saby trucking offensive line hole. Clark near a 1st down at the 40. And it looks like they will move the chains. Another comprehensive family dental 1st down for Clark and the Rebels. 7 yards puts him at 187 in the game. That's the 20th 1st down of this ball game for the Rich Rebels. Ball in the right hash. Give again to Clark. Up the middle. He's tripped up quickly and gains a short one to about the 38, maybe just a couple of yards.
Clark tripped up quickly.
Kennon up to 189 yards on 34 carries. 1 touchdown in the ball game. Or make it 2. He scored a 2nd touchdown in this 1st half, or in this 2nd half, rather. Rebels pitch it this time right side. Jordan Cook breaks free. He's drugged down finally at about the 30. And a nice gain for the Rebels. They'll spot the ball at the 27. That's 11 yards and another comprehensive Family Dental first down. Clark with 9 carries for 28 yards in the game, or Cook rather with 28 yards in the game. First down for Rich, ball on the right hash. Wishbone turn and give to Clark again off the right side. And he'll drive his way forward down near the 25, maybe the 24. A gain of 3. Was that Clark or Cook? Did you see? Cook, thank you. Yeah, 23. So Cook, the ball carrier. Kinnan with 34 carries in the ball game. 5:01 left to go in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. Running clock. Anderson under center for a 2nd and 7 with the Wishbone behind him. Turn and give to Clark right side. He busts through the middle, keeps his feet, spins away down inside the 10-yard line, and the Rebels are knocking on the door. That'll be a big-time first down easily, brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl, down near the 9. That's 21 yards for Clark, and he's over 200 yards rushing. 189 plus 21 puts him at 210 with 2 scores. Thought 200 yards rushing last week against Layton Christian was a nice outing. Tonight, 35 carries, 210, and the Rebels are knocking on the door. A 1st and goal. Wishbone behind Anderson, takes the snap, gives to Clark up the gut, drives forward. Good Saby trucking offensive line. Holy's tripped up, wrapped up. He dives forward to near the 6. A gain of about 4. Make it 3. Not a big gain there, but moves things along. 4:09 left in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. Rebels trailing, needing a score here to regain the lead. Anderson with a Wishbone behind him. Pitches right side for Cook. He sidesteps one tackler, but the seal, the block on the outside wasn't there. And Cook is brought down for a loss of a couple. Cooper Rust on the tackle from his defensive end position. Oh, no, he's a outside linebacker. Nate made a nice play playing downfield defensively. Loss of a yard. And Rich facing a 3rd and goal out about the 7. Again, the Wishbone. Anderson takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He's tripped up and brought down immediately. And again, the good defensive penetration into the backfield, I believe, was Wyatt Jessen. And so Rich goes nowhere and faces a 4th and goal at the 7. Rebels with 3:05 left to go. 22-18 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. Altamont with the lead. And Coach Brown, I believe, will take a timeout. We have a whistle. I haven't seen the indication of a timeout. Rebels started to head for the sidelines and now go back to the line of scrimmage. And now, once they get there, then the whistles blow again, and we do have a timeout. 2:56 left to go in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. We'll take a quick timeout and be right back on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
They really appreciate every customer at Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley. They understand that you have lots of options when it comes to purchasing outdoor recreation vehicles. That's why they work hard to earn your business by making sure they understand exactly what you want. They're friends with their customers. When you're happy, they're happy. If you haven't been to their store, they invite you to come visit. And if you've already one of their friends, stop in again soon and check out all of this season's gear. Cache Honda Yamaha in between Logan and Smithfield on US 91.
Our fourth quarter is brought to you by Bear Lake Realty. Gary and Amber McKee in Garden City. Visit BearLakeRealty.com, and it may come down to this play. 4th and goal at the Altamont 7. Rebels with the football. 2:56 left to go. Rich with the football, trailing 22-18 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. Wishbone, nope, I formation in the backfield. Anderson rolls to his right. Pressure coming. Pressure comes, and he's hit as he throws. And the Longhorn defense holds. The pass incomplete. 2:50 left to go. Rebels had a 1st and goal at the 9 and couldn't make anything happen. That drive, 10 plays, 65 yards, and ends on a turnover on downs. Altamont will take over with 2:50 left to go. Rich has 2 timeouts left, I believe. Longhorns from their own 7-yard line. Anderson in this half, 0 for 2 through the air. Longhorns, I would be surprised if we don't see the give to McKay Foy. 20 carries, 263 yards in the game. Rebel defense needs a quick stop. A 3 and out. 1 first down, this one's over. Tight formation, extra guy on the line, double tight end set. I formation behind Rust. Give to Foy up the middle. Rebels stand him up and drop him down. Not much of a gain at all. Looks like they put the line of scrimmage right about the 9-yard line. Rich takes a quick timeout. So Foy back to the line of scrimmage, no more. Longhorns looking for their first win against Rich since 2003. That year they beat them twice in the regular season, 28-6, and in the playoffs, 36-12. Rebels with 15 wins in a row against Altamont. Average score of 39-9, but this season, much different. 2 fumbles for the Rebels in the first half really hurt Rich, once inside the Altamont 20, and then just now, moments ago, a turnover on downs at the Altamont 9. Has the Longhorns on top with 2:43 left to go. 22-18, Altamont here at home. The winner will go on and likely face Milford. The loser will likely play at Parowan. Those teams play tomorrow night at Milford. Parowan the favorite to win. Foy the deep man in the I formation. Rebels need a stop. There's the whistle. Rust taking his time, takes the snap, turns and gives to Foy left side. He breaks it around the corner, cuts upfield, breaks a tackle, and it's got 2 guys to beat. Will the Rebels catch him? No, they won't. He's tripped up, and Cook has a chance to get him. Finally brings him down about the 13. McKay Foy, as he's done all night long, breaking huge run after huge run. His 2nd carry of the game, a 60-yard touchdown. His 4th carry of the game, a 50-yard touchdown. He's also got a 49-yard touchdown and that long run. But there's a flag down on the sideline, back about the 30. It's a sideline warning against Altamont. And if you're going to have a flag on a play like that, that's the one you'd choose, because it does nothing but say, well, that's a warning. Next time we'll assess some yardage. All the way down to the 14. 41 plus 36, 77 yards on that run. And I'm going to need a calculator to figure out total yardage for Foy after that long run. Altamont with a 1st and 10 at the Rebel 14. And that may do it. The Rebels, I think, have 1 timeout left. That probably won't be enough. Rust up under center with 2:08 left to go in the Bear Lake Realty 4th quarter. Takes the snap, turns, and gives to Foy up the middle. Certainly, if Altamont punches another one in, this ball game is definitely over. Foy brought down after a short gain, and the Rebels will, I believe, use their final timeout. With 1:57 left to go, Foy picks up 1 yard on that carry. And let me do that math now. Pull out the trusty calculator. 263 plus 77. 263 plus 77. 340 plus another 1. 341 yards rushing for McKay Foy tonight. My goodness. If you add that 341 to his total coming in, he's now at 771 yards rushing in the season. He came in with 431 yards. He's almost doubled that tonight. 1:57 left to go, and Altamont will spread things out. 3 receivers left, 1 out to the right. Foy alone in the backfield, Rust under center. Here's the snap. Rust rolls to his left, looking to throw. Rebels string it out, pressure, and Rust will just tuck it. And can the Rebels get him out of bounds and stop the clock? That would be big. They don't. Clock continues to run with 1:45 left to go. Rust got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe even lost half a yard. And it's 3rd and long for Altamont. Time running down, 1.5 minutes left to go. Rich out of timeouts, trailing 22-18. So even if they get the ball back, it would be with just seconds remaining. They would need a prayer answered to win this football game. Longhorns haven't beat Rich since 2003. They're on the verge of ending that 15-game Rebel win streak. I guess it would be a loss streak for Altamont against Rich. They're quickly up to the line of scrimmage. I formation, and a flag flies, delay of game. 1:04 left to go, and that'll stop the clock and push them back 5 yards on the delay of game. 7th penalty of the day, 72 yards against the Longhorns. Coach Richens told me they're not penalized a lot, and they've done a nice job in this second half. That's just 2 penalties. Back to about the 15-yard line. Or about, is that the 20? Back at the 20. A 3rd and 15 with a 1:04 left to go in the ball game. That penalty may help the Rebels. It certainly stopped the clock. I formation. Rust takes the snap, turns, gives to Foy around the right side. He's chased and brought down from behind. Rebels get a quick stop. It's about as quick of a play as you can have. Foy, I think, lost a couple yards. Back to the back to the 22. He's still at 339 rushing yards in the game with 3 touchdowns. What a day for McKay Foy. He's coming back next year, Rebels. Rebel fans are going to have to deal with McKay Foy again next year. 30 seconds left to go. They're going to attempt a field goal here. That would make it a 7-point lead should they kick it through. And it's Zach Hansen to attempt the kick, and now a timeout with 23 seconds left to go. So if Rich gets it back, it'll be with about 20 seconds, maybe 15. A timeout on the field. We'll take a quick timeout as well. In the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter, Rebels down 22-18 on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com. When you're buying and selling real estate, you want to work with an agent that knows the area and understands property values. You want to work with an agent that listens to what you're looking for and knows how to find it for you. And it's important to know all of your options. That's why it's smart to work with the best. Gary McKee and the agents at Bear Lake Realty in Garden City, Utah, helping folks buy and sell real estate for over 25 years. When you work with Bear Lake Realty, you're working with the best. Visit BearLakeRealty.com today. Coach Trent Richens calls for the timeout with 23.1 seconds left to go. His team lined up to kick a field goal. This would be about a 39-yard attempt. Where's he at? The 29-yard line. Parker Rust to hold for the field goal attempt, and Zach Hansen to kick. From right in the middle of the field. The snap is high. Rust pitches to Hansen. He runs left. The Rebels have got that one read, and they'll bring him down in the backfield. So that stops the clock at 16.4 on the fake field goal attempt. That pushes the Longhorns, or that gives the Rebels the football back at about the 31-yard line. Loss of 9. Rebels need a couple of big plays here with 16.4 seconds left to go from their own 31. Anderson under center with a wishbone in the backfield. Takes the snap, throws out to his right. Rebels looking for the hook and lateral. No. The pass too far outside. Anderson threw for Huffner, and it was incomplete. Clark was coming around from the backfield to try and complete that hook and lateral. Well, it doesn't work out. 12 points, 4 seconds left to go. Maybe 2 plays left for the Rich Rebels to avoid a 1-8 season. Again, the wishbone. Anderson steps back, looks to throw. He throws, and it's deflected and blocked to the ground. 9.5 seconds left to go. The Longhorns. Cooper Rust with the pass deflection. Anderson in the first half His first 10 attempts, 7 of 10 for 108 yards and a touchdown. His last 5, he's 0 for 5 through the air. 9.5 seconds to go. Anderson again, wishbone in the backfield, takes the snap, throws. He's got Trineri. He makes the catch, pitches it to Clark down the right sideline, and Kinnan will get out of bounds with 2.1 seconds left to go, which will give Rich a chance to just heave it one more time and cross your fingers, say your prayers, rub the lucky rabbit's foot, pull out your horseshoes. On the hook and lateral, Rebels get out near midfield to the 47-yard line, the 46, and it comes down to this. 2.1 seconds to go. Rebels down 22-18. Anderson in the shotgun. When he's taking his time back there, the Longhorns have put on a lot of pressure. Hopefully he can get time to step back, step up, heaves it down the left sideline. He's got Calder, but he can't make the catch. He misread where the ball was. He's asking for a pass interference. He was held up by Zach Hansen, but he's not going to get the call, and the Longhorns win 22-18 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. They beat the Rebels for the first time since 2003, and the Rebels finish 1-8. The regular season, Rich will be on the road next week, likely at Parowan, possibly at Milford. 22-18, Longhorns with the victory on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. Stay tuned. We'll take a quick break. We'll have a timeout. We'll be back with your post-game show brought to you by Epic Recreation. Make your vacation an epic one to remember. That's coming up right after this. Our fourth quarter has been brought to you by Bear Lake Realty. Visit bearlakerealty.com.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Aaron Smith. Thanks for tuning in to Rich High School Football on Rebel Radio, KADQ FM 98.3, and online at mylocalradio.com.
Light up your world with a custom-built LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. It's a proven fact that signage that lights up creates more attention. So light it up and then add text, images, and video, and your sign becomes even more powerful. Start sharing your advertising messages and information with your customers today. The team at Rocky Mountain Sign provides all types of quality signage that is custom-built and maintained. Call today for a free quote. Rocky Mountain Sign, 307-789-5202. Rocky Mountain Sign, serving customers in Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho.
Coverage of Rich High School sports is also being made possible by Delmas Equipment, repairing equipment for over 20 years, farming equipment assembly, and custom fabrication. The Thompson Ranch, Brian and Becky Thompson, promoting student learning and success in all areas. And Western Ag Credit, reliable credit for all things agriculture.
The best family vacations create lifelong memories. The Wind River Hotel and Casino in Riverton, Wyoming offers a family dinosaur dig and vacation package that includes digging for fossils at the Wyoming Dinosaur Center, sack lunches, tours of the museum, and lovely clean rooms for a comfortable night's stay. With 3 restaurants to choose from, you and your family will have fun, eat well, and rest easy. Schedule your family dinosaur dig at the Wind River Hotel and Casino in Riverton, Wyoming today. Call 866-657-1604.
Welcome to the post-game show, brought to you by Epic Recreation. Make your vacation an epic one to remember. Visit epicrecreation.net. It's time for the Freaky Fast recap, brought to you by Jimmy John's at 113 Front Street in Evanston. Freaky Fast delivery, fresh gourmet sandwiches, fresh and fast every day. The Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. Rebels wrapped up the regular season Wednesday night at Altamont. Rich trying to avoid a 1-8 season, which would be unfortunately the worst in Rebel football history since they started participating in Utah High School Activities Association football. And it wouldn't start well. McKay Foy took his second carry 60 yards to the house, and Altamont led 6-0 right out of the gate. Rebels answered with a 9-play, 60-yard drive. Kenan Clark punched it in from 3 yards out, and Rich tied it up, failed on the extra point conversion. We were tied at 6. McKay Foy answered again, 50 yards to the house 2 plays later. He had 135 yards on his first 4 carries and 2 touchdowns. Altamont converted on the 2-point conversion attempt, and it was 14-6. It would stay that way as the Rebels fumbled a couple times. Defense held a couple of times until late in midway through the second quarter. Rich answered as Anderson found Calder for the touchdown score on a pass. Rich failed on the 2-point conversion. It was 14-12. It stayed that way until the half. Start of the third quarter, Rebels put together a nice drive, 12 plays, 60 yards, took a lead, their first and only lead of the game. They put it up, made it 18-14. A couple turnovers on downs later, and McKay Foy went 49 yards for a touchdown, make it 22-18. Rich had a couple of chances late but couldn't convert, and Altamont wins the game 22-18 on the Stacey's Repair scoreboard. That's your Freaky Fast recap brought to you by Jimmy John's at 113 Front Street in Evanston. Fresh and fast every day. That's Jimmy John's in Evanston. Joining me now on the post-game show, brought to you by Epic Recreation, is Coach Ashley Brown. Coach, your thoughts on tonight's game?
You know, we get here tonight and the kids act like they don't even want to play football when we started the game, and it showed. And, you know, we got ourselves down again, and that's kind of been the story all year long.
McKay Foy, for the second straight day, or the second straight game, you allowed a guy to run for 300-plus yards, and it seemed like his first 4 carries, it was going to be a long night, but then you guys were able to adjust. What was the adjustment where you bottled them up so well after that?
Well, I think some of it was just that they missed blocks every once in a while, and they continued to hit the gap that everybody else has hurt us on, the last few games, and, it's just something that we got to make sure that we try to get better at for the playoffs.
And again, it was there were a couple of times where you had opportunities to score. You got deep in their territory and couldn't punch it in. Is it the same problem tonight?
Yeah, we just missed blocks at bad times. When we got down there, we did a good job of getting it there, and then we missed a couple blocks and went backwards, and so it's just the same thing that we've done all year long, and we got 1 week to change it if we're going to stay in the playoffs very long.
You had a better day offensively, a little more balance. So you got a lot more on the through the air, and McKinnon Clark, another great day on the ground. 36 carries, 213 yards, and a couple scores.
Yeah, we did a good job with our lead inside there, and on the one side we could run it, and the other side we couldn't, and so obviously we did a little better job of blocking there. But everybody starts even now, and it's the playoffs, and we'll see what happens.
Coach, you'll be at either Parowan or Milford. At this point, it doesn't matter who you'd rather play.
No.
Yeah.
No, either one's not going to be easy, and we got to go to their place. And both those teams are playing with lots of confidence. They've got more wins than they've had in a long time, so it's not going to be an easy task.
Where does your focus go for the next 3 or 4 practices to get ready for a playoff game?
Well, the kids have got to have a better desire to start games. They got to make sure that they want to be out there and get after it, and that's just an area that we haven't done the past few times. And once we get down a couple scores, then they decide they're ready. But at that point, you're always playing from behind.
What should it be against Parowan? Obviously, the focus will be to slow down and tackle that big running back.
Yeah, they are both very different in what they do. Parowan's going to pound you with football. They're going to give it to the big back, and then, they got a speedy back that they can get to the perimeter with. So if you meet them, that's going to be your challenge. If you meet Milford, you got the challenge of trying to stop their quarterback and the receivers in their passing game.
Having a game midweek now, do the boys get the rest of the week off? Do you have a practice tomorrow?
Nope, they'll get the rest of the week off, and and then we'll start on Monday once we know who we are going to get, and we'll start preparing for them.
Coach, anything else we should touch on?
I don't think.
Tough loss tonight at Altamont. I thought you got some good effort from a lot of guys, and it was a fun game. Just came out on the wrong end.
Yep, it was.
Ashley Brown of the Rich Rebels, thanks so much for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Drive safe.
You too.
Back home. All right. Coach Brown, thanks so much. That's your post-game interview with Ashley Brown of the Rich Rebels. We had your Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. Quick break on the Epic Recreation post-game show. We'll be back with some game highlights and stats and the Rebel Sports Update. Brought to you by Reese Land and Livestock. We'll talk with Cindy Stewart about this week's volleyball matches coming up. That's after the break on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
Make this winter epic when you rent from Epic Recreation in Garden City, Utah. We rent cabins, snowmobiles, snowcat razors, snow tire bicycles, snowshoes, and more. Thank goodness winter is long, because at Bear Lake, we make it epic. Call us today and book your epic adventure at Bear Lake. Recreation and lodging packages available year-round. Call Epic Recreation today or book online at epicrecreation.net. Rolene Kennedy of Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet in Evanston is your Rich County representative. The mother of 5 Rich High graduates and grandmother of 3 more graduates in the making, Rolene is here for you. She's a recipient of GM's highest salesman honor, the Mark of Excellence Award winner, meaning she provides you with the best customer service in the industry. The next time you're looking for a car or truck, think Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet in Evanston, your Rich County representative.
Back on the postgame show, brought to you by Epic Recreation. Visit epicrecreation.net for all your rentals in Bear Lake. You can also call them at 435-946-EPIC. That's 3742. 22-18, the final score at Altamont. The Longhorns beat the Rebels. 22-18 was the final score. First win for Altamont over Rich since 2003. Now the Rebels go in as into the playoffs that start next week as the number 4 seed from the 1A North. Rich in danger of a first. Well, first thing is this is the first time since 2005 that Rich has not hosted a playoff game in the first round, and in danger of missing the semifinals for the first time in 12 years. It's a streak of 11 consecutive appearances in the semifinals. Rich will have to beat either at Parowan or at Milford to avoid that streak ending, and that's a tall task. Rebels lost to those two teams. Lost at Milford 21-7. Lost at home to Parowan 26-0. Well, some post-game highlights and stats real quick for you. The Rebels I've got finished with 381 yards of offense. They outgained the Longhorns. A big difference in the game was extra points. Longhorns failed on a kick, but then converted on a 2-point conversion twice. And the Rebels failed on all 3 of their scores to convert the point after touchdown, and that's the difference. Those 4 points are the difference in this ball game. Another big difference in the ball game: McKay Foy, 339 yards on the ground on 24 carries, 3 touchdowns, 14 yards per carry. He had runs of 60, 50, and 49 for touchdowns, and another one of 77 that set up that iced the game. Basically, kept the Rebels from having very much time when they got the ball back at the end. Kenan Clark, another very good day on the ground. 36 carries, 213 yards, 2 scores. That's 5.9 yards per carry. Clark puts himself up above 800 yards on the season, but a tough way to finish for the Rebels. Again, Rich with 381 yards total offense. The Longhorns 348, and 336 of those came on the ground, and 339 from McKay Foy. It was a one-man wrecking crew. McKay Foy, the Longhorns get the win 22-18. We'll take another quick break and the Epic Recreation post-game show, and we'll be back to talk with Cindy Stewart. Rebel volleyball team in action tonight. The match started at South Summit about 40 minutes ago, and we'll hear from Cindy Stewart about that match and what's coming up Friday for the Rebels as well. That's after the break on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
In life, your integrity could also be considered your own personal brand. In ranching, the brand outlasts the rancher. As individuals, your character and your integrity also outlast your lifetime. At Reese Land and Livestock, the Rexes congratulate the Rich County School District students as they create personal integrity, their own individual brands, and wish you good luck in this year's academics and sports.
When you have dental care done, you let the dentist and the hygienists into your personal space. It's important that you and your family trust that your dentist will provide professional care in a comfortable atmosphere. Comprehensive Family Dental is a family-owned and operated business that understands how important this trust is. 2 locations make it convenient for you and your family when scheduling appointments. When it comes to your dental work, expect the best. Call Comprehensive Family Dental today at 435-793-2210. Ryan Steineckert with Cindy Stewart of the Rich Rebels. Coach, a solid week last week, wins over Manila and Duchesne. How'd you feel about those?
Great. It was good. The Manila game was fun. It was home game and homecoming, so that wasn't too tough, and the girls could have fun and not be so focused. And then Duchesne was a great match for fans. Went 5. They're much improved from out there. They're tall, and their block was good. And when they hit the ball, the trajectory on it was down instead of deep. So that was kind of something we hadn't seen much of this year.
you could see a definite increase in intensity, and there had to be from your girls in Manila versus when they played Duchesne. I mean, they had to be a lot better.
Oh, yeah. We even practiced the day we played Manila because I knew Duchesne was going to be tough with homecoming mindset, and I didn't know how they would, if the girls would show up or not, but Duchesne kind of forced our hand. And it made it for good for the fans. That was good, and they much improved. Amber Smith had a good game. She hadn't played well for a while, but she had a really good game for us. She back with 39 digs. And Julia served us right into the third game. She got us back in the game there. She served well.
I thought she hit real well, especially in that fifth set.
Yeah, she did. 15-4 is what we beat them in the fifth set. And she had like 18 kills, but she only hit like a 230, and she's been hitting around 400. She had a lot of swings, 60 swings.
Is that mostly because of their block?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's good for her. And as frustrated as she got, I just said, Julie, that's just the only way you're going to grow is if you've got to find a way to get over it, around it, see it. So every time she swings, I ask her, did you see the block? Did you see the block? So she's supposed to tell me she should be looking for the block now instead of just trying to hit the ball.
Did you see similarities between Duchesne and what you've seen from Panguitch? I mean, the height, the athleticism?
Absolutely, yeah. They're going to have a big block on us, too. They've got three. They run a 6'2", Panguitch does, offense, and so they got three big blockers on the row nearly every time. They got a middle blocker that's not very big, but she's a good player, but she's not as tall. But there's one rotation. They got 3 6-footers on the front row. That's when Julia's going to be on the front row.
That'll make it interesting for her. Is that? I mean, did you see that early on, and that's why you've really been working with her to hit it around or see the block?
Oh, all year long we've been trying to do it because over at Cokeville, Gillette and Evanston both had a big block on her, and they all are. They're always going to line their block up with her, so she's only going to get better. So.
Coach, this week you've got at South Summit on Wednesday and then North Summit coming here Friday. What do you know about those two teams?
Well, South Summit, I didn't see much out of them. They wound up being in the third or fourth bracket down at Richfield, so I never did get to see them much, and they were down. Their JV got in championships against our JV, and our girls beat them. North Summit, we beat them pretty easy at Richfield. I don't know what was going on with them, but they have one girl, Gracie Peterson, that serves really, really well. And so our mindset was if we can get out of her serve rotation, she's like leading this state in aces. And so that's their first attack is her serve. And then they have the big Hunter girl, and she didn't do a lot against us. When she hits it, it's beautiful. It's hard, it's down the line and solid, but they didn't get a lot of opportunities. We served really well down there against them.
What do you need to do then? The same kind of thing to beat them Friday?
Yeah, we just got to make sure we're mindful of Gracie's serve and try to get out of it real fast, and then serve tough. Serve tough.
Final week of the regular season, you feel like you're in a good spot, where the girls are, how you're playing this point of the year?
Yeah, it's not always fun to go play North and South Summit, defending state champions. The week before you go to state, if you get beat, you go in with losses. And I don't know, but I like to play tough and play raise our level of play because there won't be anybody as good as North and South Summit at state, except maybe Panguitch, And so hopefully the Duchesne game got them going and realizing that's all. Right there's what we got to play to win state.
Anything else we should touch on?
I would really like to, anybody that hears this, invite them to come to our North Summit match. It's Friday night. It's our seniors' last home game. And being UEA weekend, probably fall break or hunting or something, we might not have a very good crowd. And I just personally like to invite them to come out and watch a good match.
Let's pack the gym Friday night. Coach, thanks so much. Good luck this week against North Summit and South Summit. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
This has been the Rebel Sports Update brought to you by Reese Land and Livestock, Northeast Utah's premier brand. Stay tuned. Quick break. We'll be back on the Epic Recreation postgame show to look ahead at what's coming up the rest of this week on the Roundup calendar on Rebel Football, Wildlife, and MyLocalRadio.com.
Make this winter epic when you rent from Epic Recreation in Garden City, Utah. We rent cabins, snowmobiles, snowcat razors, snow tire bicycles, snowshoes, and more. Thank goodness winter is long because at Bear Lake, we make it epic. Call us today and book your epic adventure at Bear Lake. Recreation and lodging packages available year-round. Call Epic Recreation today or book online at epicrecreation.net.
Back on the Epic Recreation post-game show. And time for a quick look ahead at Rich County sports and activities. The Rebel volleyball team tonight is at South Summit. And freshman was at 5:30. Varsity, JV at 6:45. Varsity was scheduled for 8 o'clock, so that presumably started just under an hour ago. Rebel volleyball team at South Summit tonight. We'll have some scores for you tomorrow on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com. Rebel volleyball back in action Friday in the final season's final home match versus North Summit. The Braves will be in town. Freshmen at 4:30, JV at 5:45, varsity at 7. Our pregame starts at 6:40, and certainly invite you to come down and be at Rich High School to cheer on the Rebels on senior night this Friday at Rich High School. That takes us through the end of the week and wraps up our roundup calendar and the postgame show, brought to you by Epic Recreation. Visit epicrecreation.net. Again, our final score here at Altamont. The Longhorns 22, the Rebels 18. Altamont takes the lead early in the fourth quarter and holds on for the victory. That's going to do it for tonight's videographer, Logan Johnson. For my producer, Kate Bollender, back in the studio. I'm Ryan Steineckert. Talk with you again soon.
You've been tuned in to Rich High School Rebel football on Rebel Radio, KADQ FM 98.3, with video online at mylocalradio.com. Today's game has been brought to you by these Rebels supporting businesses and individuals: Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet, Edwards Furniture in Logan, the Wind River Hotel and Casino of Riverton, Wyoming, Westar Printing in Evanston, Cash Honda Yamaha in Logan, T-Bar S Body Shop Technoglass of Evanston, and by mylocalradio.com. The proceeding has been a wholly owned production of Old West Media, no portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the aforementioned rights holder.
Our executive producer is Val Cook. We thank our office manager, Kayleen Anderson, and also our sales manager, Julie Burley, along with KNYN sports director, Jake Hibbert, chief photographer, Warren Cook, and production assistants, Kate Bullender and A.J. Lamb. Biggest thanks to all of our sponsors and to you for tuning in. We invite you to visit mylocalradio.com for archived games and past interviews with Rebel players and coaches. Thank you for joining us on this presentation of Rich Rebel Sports on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at mylocalradio.com. Until the next time the Rich High football team takes the field, go Rebels!